Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan, Bob, and Eric Video Games. Sigil up, gamers.
Sigilling up.
No, please, no, I can't sigil again.
Chris Wolfhart.
Sigil down.
And Dr. Agro.
Sex.
Here on GigaBoots. Sex? Here on GigaBoots?
It's more likely than you think. Wow, that sounded really threatening.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
You know, it didn't until you said that. That's when it reframed my understanding of sex.
That's when it reframed my whole understanding of sex.
Agro, he enlightens people, really, if anything.
I like to think of myself as a teacher.
I really like Eric being like, no, I can't. The mind is willing, but the flesh
Spongy and bruised.
I can't sigil, not right now.
I sigiled a few minutes ago. You're gonna give me some time.
Please,
I can sigil up again.
I'm begging you.
I'm at half sigil right now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Big Think Dimension number 225, I believe, but I actually didn't check that, so it'll be really funny if I'm wrong.
I think I updated it properly.
Oh, yeah, I sure am going to trust you on that. The summer game events began. We have a lot to talk about, but we get to delay that a little bit longer. Let's cut to this camera. Oh, it's looking beautiful. Look at this, man. You guys are looking pretty
hogging
skinny.
the camera.
Chris is running defense on aggro.
You can stick me down with the Gardevoir if you want.
No, it's fine. It's a metaphor. But behind every powerful, sexy cat person is a fat, ugly ginger. This is an internet safety tip.
Yeah, see, I go to aggro whenever I need to know about accurate medieval weaponry. I have a person that seemingly no one who makes games about medieval weaponry has.
God, ain't that the truth?
I want to answer my phone and be like, I want to see $20 in my account, and I'll tell you if that crossguard's right.
Aggro,
You charge per question.
Aggro, please, I need to know what was John D's favorite sigil. Tell me.
The Modus Hieroglyphica.
Okay, great, thank you. Oh.
I can't believe I had an answer for that question.
This is what you come to Big Think Dimension for. But hello, everyone. We survived the conferences thus far. Yesterday was the Guerrilla Collective. Today was Summer Game Fest, singular.
Yes.
There was only one game, Truth in Marketing. Day of the Devs and Devolver Digital. We have many more going forward. So if you're listening to this and it is still, pretty shortly after or still Thursday, make sure you're keeping an eye out. We have a schedule on the Discord and it updates with the stream roll every time we go live. Anyway, I'm very excited to talk about all that, but first we have to talk about what we've been playing. We played Pikmin 3 Deluxe. It is a co-op game. Because we effectively co-opted it, having gone through Pikmin 1 and 2. And it was the Switch version, which is apparently more efficient, and you're able to get it through more optimally anyways. That stream was barely 7 hours before we beat it. That was absurd, because the original estimates 13 hours on how long to beat. They're like, this is a 13-hour game. Then the deluxe version's like, it's 10. And then we're like, apparently it's 7. I don't know what to tell you.
So what's deluxe about it?
So they added the co-op for the story mode. Co-op in the original release was only for other modes.
Oh.
So because we could co-op the whole game, that means Eric's running to one end of the map to do some shit, and Bob's exploring the opposite end of the map, and they're working together when they have to. And it was a really great experience. It really redefined what I thought the appeal of Pikmin was, when you could turn it into an effective co-op game. It's weird.
Yeah, it also controls way better than 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, no, it really did do the thing I thought they would never do, because a lot of developers, the way it controls is the game. You getting over the controls is a part of the appeal, right? Some developers feel that way about the way their games control. So I thought this was one of those, and this would never happen. But no, there's a targeting button.
Like,
You just target the enemy and throw the goddamn Pikmin.
Never mind effective co-op game. It's an effective Pikmin game. It's like the first game that felt like I could. Oh, it's Pikmin. The other games were, well, I don't even know what
You
those
cleared
were.
away the haze, and here you are.
It
You've been
felt
here
like
the whole time.
I understood it. Like the scales fell from my eyes, and I'm like, oh, Pikmin.
The
honestly,
Pikmin like follow you and don't just kill themselves for no reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
I owned a GameCube growing up, and this is like the reason I never touched Pikmin was because every time someone described it to me, it was with words like unique and very original and different from every other game. And I'm like, this sounds like it's not a thing that you can describe because it's bad.
It's RTS, but bad on a controller. Is that not what you want?
I played StarCraft on the N64.
Now imagine your Terrans drowned themselves because you tried to get them to go somewhere and you didn't baby them. You didn't hold all 80 of their hands.
And you had to scream at them multiple times to stop drowning.
Also worth noting, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, I believe it's the easy mode on Pikmin 3 becomes normal. And then they set a difficulty above and below.
I don't think they even had an easy mode on Pikmin 3 regular. So they now made an easy mode that's called normal mode.
Right. And then that is called something else. I'm
Yeah.
sure chat will clarify if we're wrong on this, just because that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
If I say something wrong about Pikmin on the internet, someone will arrive.
Or if you just talk about Pikmin at all, they'll tell you how to beat the game.
No, that's if you stream Pikmin. We spent plenty of time talking about Pikmin. They're like, well, I don't need to tell them what's around the corner and how to beat the final boss yet. Yeah, that was an interesting aspect of streaming Pikmin I didn't expect. It really just brought out the backseating.
Mm-hmm.
It was really weird. You never can predict it.
Yeah, it was way more than any other game I think we've ever streamed.
Well, we haven't streamed Undertale.
That's true. Which we have to stream with emotes only.
Or Dark Souls.
Oh,
We played
yes.
a bit of Elden Ring at launch.
Uh-huh.
That's not the same thing.
If you do ever stream Dark Souls, you need to get somebody to sit in the stream with you and go, chat, if we need help, we ask them. If any of you give us anything, we kill you.
Yeah, that's pretty helpful. It's good to have that filter. They announced a haze like yesterday. Sorry. Anyway. Look, not too many people out there making first piss and shooters. Okay?
God damn it.
Not enough games injecting piss. Putting piss in yourself.
Yeah, not too many. Hey, Pikmin 3, though, they had a really great cast in it.
Mm-hmm.
And Louis is a villain, and it acknowledges that pretty clearly, where it's just like, this motherfucker eats everything and does nothing!
Yeah, you save his life. And the first thing he does is steal all of your food.
All of it!
All of it.
He stole 33 days worth of food and ran off.
After crashing our ship. Ultimate villain.
Yeah. That motherfucker better not show his face in Pikmin 4. I'm gonna remove it.
We're going to have problems.
God. What a... I could fill too much of this podcast talking about all the things that should happen to Louis.
Louis is this really weird symptom of the bizarre phase in the mid-aughts where they were like, Luigi has secret darkness. Because there's also a part in Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, the second Mario and Luigi game, where a door that only lets the pure of heart through will not let Luigi through. And Mario and the two babies have to like vouch for him to get him through the door.
What? No, Luigi, why?
That's just making me think of that thing of like, oh, always the Smash Brothers brawl thing where Colonel's like, that would do something to you living in the shadow of your younger brother.
Yeah, and in Brawl he has the fucking negative zone.
Yeah,
Final Smash.
That's true. He's got the nightmare dance.
That one Mario Kart shot of him staring death at someone.
Yeah, just like, yeah, no, so I guess Luigi, he's full of sin or
Yes.
sinful ideation. That's unfortunate. I really loved Pikmin, all of them, 1 through 3. I loved them a lot. I'm glad 3 is such a cool game for normal people to enjoy. That's really the way I feel about it. I love playing it. It's really cool how them changing the controls can make the game now kind of about something else. You know, once you add targeting, the game is a little bit less about the engaging with those controls.
Mm-hmm.
And my God, do I think 3 is a much better sequel to 1 than 2 is? Because 2 does a weird and different thing, but it does have a lot of improvements.
Yeah, 2 in retrospect is so bizarre. Like, it is nothing like 1 in structure at all.
No, it's really weird. It doesn't capture any of that essence.
Right, and I feel like 3 is different again, but not nearly as, like, it's way closer to 1 than anything 2 did.
Yeah, I feel like 3 gets the energy of 1 perfectly because not only are you getting parts to recover, like improve your ship's ability to sense things, you're also trying to find lost teammates. And there's a little bit of that energy in 1, I feel.
Yeah.
Because of all these parts of your ship that you love. Also, 2 had to happen so that way 3's story about Olimar going insane with covetous greed can occur.
Yeah.
We're going to have mild spoilers for Pikmin 3, so I'm going to play the... Hey, Aggro.
Hey,
So in Pikmin, in case you didn't know, that is clearly...
I didn't.
It's clearly the planet Earth and everyone's dead.
Oh.
Pikmin 3, however, is the first one to bring this directly into the story, as there is a terrifying hollow, like, melted human thing made of gold. And Olimar cannot escape it. All the Pikmin fear and just ran away, leaving him to, because the spacesuits in Pikmin knock you out if you're under too much stress.
That's
He
right.
keeps going unconscious as this weird golden being keeps leering over him at all times and will not let him leave the planet.
How many Nintendo games secretly involve the Earth having been destroyed?
That is a great question. I would love to see that Wikipedia list.
At least 2.
Because it's like this, Kirby, I think Star Fox as well has like...
Yeah, that would make sense in Star Fox. But yeah, I would love to see that list. It'd be like, cool.
Are they?
So
are
we
they
also-
on
Splatoon,
Earth
yeah.
and
Oh, yeah,
F-Zero?
Oh yeah, Splatoon. F-Zero? Oh. Yeah, I bet that's in that instruction manual. But yeah. It's really absolutely wicked. This fucking monster at the end of the game. Worst part is you do this epic boss battle. There's this giant thing. It's literally an entire level, unlike any other Pikmin game where it's like survive, escape with Olimar.
Mission objective, survive.
Because if you put down Olimar for even 1 second, the golden being will eat the Pikmin next to him and start dragging him off.
Holy shit.
It is a horror game at that point.
God.
It's really good. It's really good.
See, like, because I don't have a visual image, I'm just imagining the wall near boss fight from Dark Souls 3, but it's giant golden Homer.
Yes.
That was cool as shit. I'm actually re-excited for 4. Having played 3 and it being so damn good, I'm like, now I need 4.
I just realized I never actually checked out that trailer for 4.
No, because the main thing it does is introduce, hey, it's a character creator. You're literally making yourself one of the people who works with Olimar and gets sent off in the ship. And I'm like, that's great. I'll check that out when I have time. It's not that high priority.
Oh yeah, this one did another weird thing of like, there's now 2 groups of aliens. Like Olimar's from one planet, and these new dudes are from another planet.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember their name.
One eats fruits and the other vegetables, and they think each other is weird.
Yeah.
I did like the new ones where they're like, we're all really stupid and have no survival instincts, so we ran out of food, our government is in shambles.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole game's about they exhausted their food supply, and then you start to realize these assholes will not eat anything other than fruit. They literally look at Olimar and Louis, and they're like, oh, they're eating vegetables.
They literally have some line like, our species is great at eating and bad at thinking ahead.
So it's pretty cool that in the Pikmin universe, there's Earth, which is obviously destroyed by greed, and then this other planet that's destroyed by
Hunger.
dumbassery. Kopai. Hakatate and Kopai.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Like, vegetables. We're not going to eat vegetables. That's disgusting. And then they learn the joys of meat.
I was a little afraid of that, actually. I spent a decent bit of that game being like, we're not just going to start collecting beef at some point, right?
Like, eventually a Pikmin's going to get hurt in front of one of them, and they're just going to go...
And
Oh, that's
just
horrifying.
Just so nobody in the comments says it, Hokatate is a reference to Nintendo of Japan's headquarters address in Japan.
Oh.
And Kopei is a reference to the company's original name because it was Nintendo Kopei because they made playing cards and Kopei's playing cards.
No.
I'm going to say this now in case I forget to say it later. So they started selling Volvy merch, and there's like the Japan shirt and the America shirt. The Japanese shirt, Tosh, my girlfriend, She translated it using a translate app, and it's Volvy's just yelling, "I have big hand."
Oh yeah. It's for gaming.
For gaming. So I'm gonna end up with those for sure. Goes well with my scrunch shirt.
It does.
But yeah, Pikmin 3.
Yeah,
Really cool.
there's neat stuff.
Yeah. With the co-op, it just became really amazing and cool in a completely novel way.
Mm-hmm.
Which I did not expect. I was like this before Pikmin month began, I truly expected they did Pikmin 1 3 times.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, fair. That's kind of what I thought too.
And I based it on playing Pikmin 1 and nothing else.
I was like, isn't that kind of how Luigi's Mansion 1 2 were?
I haven't played 3, so
Right.
but now we're doing a Luigi's Mansion month, or Guigi month as it's officially called.
God.
And so I must admit, not a fan of 2. I hear so many good things about 3, I'm convinced it must be very much not like 2.
I played through 3. It doesn't seem anything like what I saw of 2. It seems like a complete game with good ideas.
Huh.
2's
2 is
That
like a
good.
prison cell they had to put next level in for a couple years.
I'm very excited to play 2 again. For people who don't... Oh, I can stop the music. We're done talking about the fucking Pikmin 3 spoilers. Luigi's Mansion 2, I wrote an entire review for it, and then I went, is this really what I want to spend my life doing? Editing a review for a game to just be overly emphatically expressive about the fact this game is just south of okay? Like, is this what I'm going to dedicate at least 20 to 30 hours of production and all this shit to? The game already robbed me of 12.
Yeah.
Do I really need to surrender this? So then, you know, upon looking on it, I just left the script and didn't make that review. I still, even as much as I dislike Luigi's Mansion 2, really think it should escape the 3DS because nothing should be left on the 3DS. I don't think there's a single video game I've ever seen that deserves to be left on the 3DS. Because Mighty Number 9 is on other things. And I can't just seal it there. That's not how that works.
No, you can't use this as a prison.
It's like the Superman thing. I throw the 3DS at them and they flip away into space. Oh man, that'd be great.
Let me show my cellophane 3DS at you.
No. Volvy gets sealed in it and flies into space. But that's it. I'm done talking about Pikmin 3. I talked about this on the Guerrilla Collective stream, and I said, hey guys, I'm going to talk about this again during Big Thing, so brace for it. So I'm playing Pistol Whip, right?
Yeah.
And I'm having an amazing time. It's already competing for my game of the year. Like, really competing for that. Which is a lot, because Tears of the fucking Kingdom is amazing. If only these fucking assholes would talk about it into a microphone! But
Never.
Bob's like, I refuse to talk about this game I love. Dun, 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 dun. But it's already competing for that. It's an absolutely amazing experience. And I go home after thinking about this. I come back the next day. It's a really fucking busy day. But there's enough time for Toast to come over and try Pistol Whip. She boots it, and I'm out here watching the TV, watching her play it. And I notice on the UI, something that makes a press release I read from them the night before makes sense. Where on the UI under arcade, there was a left tab I never once looked at because of how field of view works, where it's just 6 other tabs of songs, like entire lists of songs. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot of free updates I didn't know I already had. I was just playing the vanilla shit that came with this game when it came out originally. Oh my God. So I think I might know what my game of the year is.
What if all those songs suck somehow?
There's literally no way.
Right?
Beat Saber is a masterclass. By the way, I also mentioned this earlier, going to mention it again. My Beat Saber rant last week brought out so many rhythm game fans who directly messaged me and added me on Discord to be like, thank you. Everyone spends so much time talking about how good Beat Saber is with mods. No one takes the time to say it's dog shit without it. Like, completely useless video game. This is how bad it was, though. One of them let me know. The community literally redid the songs they did for Beat Saber because their charts are that bad.
Oh, that's fucking rough.
I was like, that is condemning. That is the peak of you have failed your community.
Come on.
Pistol Whip's amazing, though. Everything about the base game is really, really good. I started listening to the music from the classic set, which is 10 songs, outside of it, and I'm like, oh, they got custom mixes for the game because this song in the game doesn't have a guy who's like, yo, what? I'm just like, that's a smart choice. It'd be a little distraction in the middle of the shootout if I just heard a guy go, yo! What the fuck is... That game's really incredible. I don't have much else to say about it other than I'm literally going to an optometrist to get my eyesight remeasured to order those lenses to custom attach to the PSVR 2 so I don't have to wear glasses.
Oh, you can do that for that?
Yeah, John Linneman was talking about he got that done months ago, like back in March.
Oh, man.
And I followed up
knew
with
some
him.
headsets did it. I just never saw anything about the
Yeah,
PSVR
it's not
2.
officially through PlayStation. It's through a thing, I believe it's called HONS VR, Hans VR. And I asked him because I wanted to wait a bit and be like, so how is that treating you? He's like, oh, it's really good. It's a game changer. You should absolutely.
Straight. Like, I have my eyeglass prescription from like 2 months ago sitting on my desk. Like, let's fucking go.
Yeah. I was surprised it's pretty affordable too. It's like $50.
Shit, yeah. No,
Yeah, of
done.
course I'm gonna do that. Like, you
Would
kidding
that
me?
be better? Would that be better than just like wearing contacts?
Well, a lot of people don't like having contacts in their eyes.
Or putting
I've never
contacts
worn
in
them,
and
so
touching
I don't
their
know.
eyeballs.
I've never worn them, so I couldn't.
I haven't worn contacts. Let me check the time of day. Yeah, in 18 years. So I am capable of wearing contacts, but it just was a hassle. Like, and to some extent, I actually was planning on getting a prescription that had the contact part of it, because when you get a prescription, you have to be like, I am going to get contacts, make sure to include the relevant information. But then I saw these lenses were available, and I waited a couple months to ask John, like, are these good? He's like, yeah, no, they're great. Yes. And I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm doing that. So between that and me being like, eventually I will need a MetaQuest 2 for PC VR shit, because VR chat and like the random game that might not come to PSVR 2. I think I'm VR pilled. I think I just might be a little VR pilled.
So you're getting the Apple one, right?
I spent that entire conference laughing. I wish you could all see the face, because here's what happened. I watched that Apple conference. Tosh leaves the room for the last 10 minutes, so she's watching it with me. And when she comes back, I'm like gonna use the restroom. She comes back into the bedroom, and she's like, so how did the thing end? And I'm like, oh, it's $3,500. And she literally like slack jaw, mouth open, like, what? Yeah, it was that cutscene from like Deadly Premonitions with the fucking Sinner sandwich. Yeah. She just like broke the rigging of her model to make the most comically, oh, what the fuck face possible.
Confirm one thing for me about that goggle, because I've heard multiple people say this, and I don't know if it's a joke or incorrect, and I don't want to live in the timeline where it's real.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to collapse this waveform.
It's not actually partially see-through. There's just you're fucking kidding me. There's a screen on the front.
Allow me to explain the depth of this. No, it's so much worse than you can imagine. There is a curved OLED screen that is outward facing on the Apple Vision Pro that uses a metahuman, the phone or the goggles made based on a face scan to let people know if you can see them. So they thought, because they're fucking cowards and Apple's afraid of making a product that makes you look like a nerd or a shut-in, their way of solving this was to make the uncanny valley version of you peer out. It's also holographic, I believe. So the different angle at which they look at it changes the depth of the fake face they have grafted onto your face. As I said, I spent most of this conference laughing so hard.
I love seeing all the edits of that where it's like they made the face just a little tinier.
Yeah. Yeah, they did that for Linus. That product is the most visionless and fucking ill-directed thing they have ever shipped. This is how bad it is, you guys. the Apple Watch was a blockbuster concept in comparison, because there is any slice of humanity who goes, yeah, that could be for me. Everyone who likes VR is looking at Apple Vision Pro like, are you fucking insane? 2 hours of battery life. No controllers to do 3D movement.
No.
It's all you do gestures with your hands and you point with your eyes. And then I'm like, well, okay, I guess you can make an interface where your hand does a thing and your eyes point at the thing. And then Apple goes, hey guys, don't worry. We're not going to let app developers know where you're looking. And I'm like, when you say that, you make it sound like my eyes can't control apps. That can't be true.
Yeah,
do you just mean they can't scrape it for data? Because if you let them see where, like, if you can let it work as an input, then obviously they will know where I'm looking and they could scrape it. Like, there's no way you could prevent that. Yeah, I don't know. You can make it against your end user license agreement for making an app, but then we're now depending on Apple to be, vigilant enough to be like, okay, I'm tracking all the data that all these apps are exporting to see if any of them are scraping this data and compressing it and doing all this shit. Which, fucking...
What is it like? We bought information that tells us you like to look diagonal left. Here's an ad for ice cream? Like, what the...
No. You can get a lot of information just tracking eyes. Like, because people will look at different parts of... Like, say you're using a Twitter app, right? Mm-hmm. You spent this long looking at this. We're going to show you ads for blank. In fact, they already do that.
Ads for boobs. Got it.
Yes. I mean, guys, cut out the middleman. Cut out the R&D. You don't need to export that much data. Just sell me a tit. Just find a way on Twitter to show me one boob. $350.
Oh, thank you. Oh.
Well, I was going to pre-order that as special edition of Final Fantasy 16, but that is a tit.
It's a straight up tit.
I've been needing one of those. Just one, though. Yeah, that headset is the dumbest shit in the world. It's like we're afraid of having 3D controllers because we want it to be a natural human interaction. We don't have any games prepared or any killer apps. We put the Uncanny Valley on your face. It's supposedly for productivity. It lasts 2 hours unless you're plugged into a wall. There are just so many layers. As someone who's deeply fanatic about VR, who's just loving the PSVR 2, it's such a great experience. I spent that whole segment just laughing nonstop. And you literally missed everything. This is an even worse version of the meta pitch.
I like that we say that it's 2 hours without the power supply, but that means you have a cord running down into your pocket for your battery.
Right, yeah, because it's 2 hours.
2 hours only.
It's 2 hours if you're not plugged into the wall.
Right.
It's still, you're plugged into a thing in your pocket.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's literally, you have to keep a battery pack on you, and it's so likely Apple will just be like, oh, those are proprietary. It doesn't end in a USB Type-C. You must buy our rechargeable battery.
Right.
That shit was the funniest. It's so great that Silicon Valley companies like NVIDIA and Apple are just turning out these E3 2005 tier conferences. That conversation wasn't scripted. That was an AI-generated conversation. I have heard my ramen shop is being attacked by criminals. And then this one was Bob said, like, it reminded him of the Kinect shit.
Yes, there's a lot of Kinect energy.
Oh, no.
And they even, like, second screen experiences were brought back for this conference.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
It's like,
my
yeah,
God.
check out the stats for this world they're on in Mandalorian. It's like, who on earth is going to want to do that?
Look, all you need to know about Apple Vision Pro, which is a terrible name, because what are they going to call it when they start selling optical insurance, is that Disney came out to do their insane E3 2005 Sony pitch with what can the cell processor do, you guys? I guess it can scrape webcams from a mall and disassemble a car live. Tier shit, which they end that pitch with, I don't know, what if Mickey Mouse was on your fucking chair?
And they're also like, hey, here's an NBA game. You can watch it 3D on your desk. It's like, what?
But the only salient app, the only actual proposition they made, solid promise they made by the end of all of that, and this was a huge part. They were like, Disney's teaming up with this. This is huge. And then they did this insane trailer, is they are going to make an app called Watch Star Wars on Tatooine. And it's just a VR Tatooine you sit in and watch Disney Plus.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
That's their killer app. It's literally called Watch Star Wars on Tatooine.
Well, no, that's not true, Dan. The actual killer app is the ability for movie cops to watch their dead families.
I was laughing so hard watching it. I'm like, this is Minority Report. The only difference is he's not drunk and crying.
Someone sits down to watch Minority Report with the Apple goggles and go, man, Tom Cruise looks so stupid.
And then you can't finish it because it's over 2 hours.
I cannot believe there exists a circumstance that I can look at and think, man, me sitting on my couch watching Crunchyroll in my PSVR 2 headset is a much more dignified experience than this.
I also love that.
Yeah, because you didn't spend $3,500.
Yeah. They promote the only real way of interacting is doing this.
It's just tapping
yeah,
your
tapping
fingers.
your fingers.
Yeah.
But a few times they're like, we put a holographic keyboard in midair. It's like, there's no way that works.
No.
I just
That has to be the worst thing ever.
They popped up with that holographic keyboard. I'm like, they're not going to show him using that because he's going to be like. And then they're like, and look, he has a wireless real keyboard on the counter to actually use it. I'm like, you're damn right he does. But yeah, no, the number of things that in that conference that were unfucking real compared, like on the topic of that was their big closer. That was the one more thing. That was their huge event. They were ready to just kick the shit out of the world with their amazing. They're calling it spatial computing. Their stock dropped a whole % within minutes after them announcing the 3,500. Really good, really good. Anyways, that's our recap for that.
Here in what we've
The
been playing
opening
for some
segment,
reason.
yeah. Well,
Sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up.
Technically, it only says opening up there. Technically, it's my fault. I started with the pistol whip, and that just led into VR talk. Anyway, pistol whip's really fucking good. I played it for 1 hour and 3 minutes and had to stop, not because of stamina, which is a great feeling, but because it was fucking 5 in the morning. And I was like, I have shit to do. I have to go. But that's basically what I've been playing. So, hey, Bob, what you been playing?
I played Street Fighter.
Oh, you played Street Fighter?
Yeah,
I
Street
also
Fighter
played
6.
Street Fighter.
Oh, shit.
I'll talk about the World Tour mode first. Did you play any of that, Chris?
I played a little tiny bit, but I mostly just played online.
Yeah, online's great. Oh man, what a
It
what
is
a
so
game.
good.
What the regular Street Fighter stuff in this game is incredible.
I'm just going to say the cheesiest fucking stupid story. I'm just like, oh, yeah, ranked matches. We can't do them against our friends, right? Hey, Bob, set the filter for PlayStation Network only. 5-bar connection.
We got 1 or 2, right?
Yeah, we got a few, and then it was like a bunch of people. What was it? I didn't even know. It wasn't. Was it DJ? Where I was just like, I didn't even know this fucker was in the game because no one's playing him.
Yeah, DJ or Blanca, one of the two is just a jump scare of like, oh, he's here.
Oh shit, you're in this game,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
I've done like 150 matches or something like that, and I haven't seen DJ a single time. I haven't seen JP a single time.
Wow, I actually some of the worst players some of the most annoying players to fight have been JP. Because oh god,
I think I've seen everybody else. I've seen Kimberly a couple times.
Yeah, I saw her a ton during the beta, but not at all since it launched.
I've seen the T-Hawk, T-Hawk student. I forget her name.
Lily, I think.
Yeah, I've seen her once or twice. It's just a lot of, I'm a Cammy with modern controls. That means you're about to win.
Street Fighter 6 is really fucking great.
Yeah. I played the World Tour mode, though.
Yeah.
How's I sense a downturn.
It took 6 hours to even introduce the drive mechanics, which are the focusing and the parries and the special moves, like EX moves.
Mm-hmm.
It took that long to introduce something that basic.
Does it forbid you from using it until then?
Yeah, you don't have to unlock it. You don't have it.
Yeah, it takes a while.
I've played for 11 hours. I don't have a full moveset for any one fighter yet. I've been okay, I'm just going to max out Chun-Li because I like playing as her. Even that, I don't have all her moves yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, it's great the industry moved so hard towards hour count, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It
Oh.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say something about the multiplayer. One last little thing. It's really funny that Strive is like, oh, you poor baby, you're in the corner. Oh, if you get hit too much, we'll break the wall so you get reset back to neutral. And in Street Fighter 6, it's you're in the corner. We're giving them a gun.
Yeah, it's like, no, this is a fighting game. I don't understand. No, I noticed you messed up.
If you haven't played it yet, there's a new thing called, like, I think the specific mechanic is Drive Impact, which is a big slow hit that has armor.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't block it if you're in the corner. You get wall splatted.
Mm-hmm.
Which is terrifying.
Have you ever seen that meme where it's just the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and it's two people who chose two other characters and then Virgil?
Uh-huh.
They're like, I'm not going to let you in. Yeah, well, you're not going to get in. And even if you do, that's me in the corner. I'm just so confident. I'll grab you and throw you behind me, bitch. Come on. And it works about half of the time.
Yeah. A lot of people, you know, you can just keep throwing.
I've just been talking to myself during some matches like, I'm going to keep throwing you when you stand up until you stop letting me do that. Like, how many times I throw you in a row in this match is entirely on you.
No, I'm just following a flowchart, my guy. you're trapped in it.
That's one thing I really like about the new character Manon. She's the one I've been using a lot, and she has a command throw with like a half circle back and then a punch or something. Every time you do it, it gets more powerful. So it goes up to 5. It does almost half their health bar once once you've done it 5 times, which at that point they've earned it.
I don't know.
Like if they've hit a command grab that many times, it's over.
I don't know who I hate more fighting, Marisa or Manon. They're just so infuriating. Marisa's just, I'm like, I'm using a drive impact, and Marisa's like, funny, I don't care.
Yeah, Marissa's really rough with that. Like, it's hard to get used to her.
What do you do that doesn't have armor frames? Maybe we could just shorten this list.
One of the Kimberlys I ran up on is like, I don't know what's happening. Oh, I lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun to run into the person who says, like, new challenger. This is like their ranking matches. They destroy you.
Everyone's a Smurf. It's just a Smurf account. All of them. I'm like, oh, you whipped my ass? You made a new account just to do that, I swear.
I mean, at least it's so close to it coming out that I get it. It's like, yeah, no, you've been grinding and now you've actually gone online.
So this is very important. I have to say this every time a new fighting game with good online comes out. If you win the first match and lose the second and then leave, death penalty. If you don't go all the way to 3 after you won the first one, prison.
Yeah,
jail.
Yeah, I even made the tweet about it, and Bob's in the room as I call it out. I run into a Ryu, and I'm like, isn't this that Ryu I absolutely wrecked earlier? And I did a round like I just swept the floor with him. We start the fight, round 1. He hits me twice and I devastate him. Disconnects.
I haven't had a disconnect yet, thankfully. I wonder if people are too ashamed. I wonder if people are too ashamed to disconnect versus me because I've decided that I'm going to main Luke.
They're like, no, it's over. I can't.
Street Fighter 6 is the best I felt about a Street Fighter game since Third Strike.
Yeah.
It's so good. It makes me happy.
It just feels better than Street Fighter 5 in a way that is difficult to describe. Not just obvious, like, I think it feels better in terms of just game feel. But also, it has much cooler mechanics. God V trigger sucked. V skill also sucked.
Yeah, it was always such a grab bag if the character you wanted to play would have a V skill that meant anything.
Right.
Yeah, it's like I like to play Armika and her V skill, her V trigger was fucking, and her V skill were both just bad.
Yeah, and then, like, as you were saying, it just feels better. That's literally measurably true because the input latency is so much lower. So even between, like, that and the other things are the tiny details, right, of how a character moves and other things. It is just a much better feeling game than both 4 and 5.
Yeah.
And you can turn on that 120 hertz mode that makes the input latency even lower.
Yeah, I think that actually turns off the VSync.
Yeah, it does make it look kind of.
It does. It
rough.
does. I was like, I turned it on. I'm like, why is there so much fucking screen tearing? That's fucking weird. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's probably because of that.
Yeah, which is admirable. I don't know if anyone's measured it, but as somebody playing it, I'm like, not worth it. I'll deal. I don't want to see, because it's not like a lot of modern games, when they have screen tearing, they find a way to tear at the top or bottom of the frame. Like they engineer that in. This is like seemingly always in the fucking middle, like maybe a third down at highest. And I'm like, oh, this is, yeah, I'll deal with the VSync. It's fine. Yeah, great fucking game.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. It's a real shame that like I'm doing all this pistol whip and VR shit because it's great exercise and also it's really fucking fun. And Tears of the Kingdom and Street Fighter 6.
They're just over there looming. It's like, hey, why you do this?
Play all of us, and I'm like, leave me alone.
Yep.
Which is why I'm glad Synapse doesn't come out till next month.
I've
You have
heard
a little more time.
I've heard there's a thing in Street Fighter 6.
Yes, man, who's looming behind Chris?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
That I thought was really cool. Where apparently, this is how I've heard it. If you lose a match to a character, it'll like give you access to a list of videos and replays of your character beating that character.
Oh.
So you can learn how to do that.
That's
I
really
heard that,
neat.
yeah.
Wow,
Wow.
I had no idea.
And that's how it was presented to me, as a teaching tool and not as a don't at the dev team, that character's not broken, you suck.
It can be both.
This is unstoppable. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I'd only seen the click the button to go to practice against that character.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a really good character creator, which I think a lot of people know, like the character creator, because it was in the first beta, is
Yeah.
like so in depth.
Yeah.
Too in depth.
Yeah, Tosh started having a panic attack. I'm like, Tosh, craft my face.
It's a real freak
I
machine.
want it to unsettle people. And she's just like, why did you do this? I need hours with these tools.
You can get Ark Survival Evolved levels of freaks.
It is unbelievable. This just kicks the shit out of the one in the new Saints Row. Like, it's not even a contest.
Right, yeah.
How is that the case? This is a core part of your fucking franchise, and you've lost.
Man. Yeah, so this kind of gives you confidence that, like, Dragon's Dogma 2 could use similar tools for creating your customizable character.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
it's the same
like,
engine.
Even one had a lot of options for Dragon's
Right.
Dogma, so I'm excited for that.
Now you
It
get
could
to
use
have-
more hairstyles in Street Fighter, but that's like the only
Right.
complaint.
Right. I wish Street, like, this is an unreasonable request. I know this. You don't have to tell me. I wish the hair in Street Fighter looked as good as Resident Evil 4 on my PC.
That'd be pretty incredible.
God, they perfected hair with that game. They really, truly did. And now I'm like, okay, yeah, go ahead and give me chest hair. That's realistic. And it looks like I have just like porcupine needles in my chest. And I'm just like,
God.
oh, that doesn't look right at all. Am I okay?
I thought people make Frankie from One Piece, but used the hair options to give him the tattoos on the arms. It was a lot.
But Frankie's right there. He's Luke.
That's true.
They even have the same haircut.
But yeah, so since we have this like summer of gaming shit going on, we were just, because let's be real, the 3DS Pikmin is not a Friday stream. We were just going to do Street Fighter 6 tomorrow. So if people are interested in jumping in for randos or whatever.
Yeah, and
Come
we
on
didn't-
by.
Yeah, I know that the online started messing up late last night,
Really?
and hopefully it was still messed up when I woke up this morning. But I don't think I'm not sure if they fixed it by now. Hopefully it's fine by tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I did see them announce like we're gonna cancel tournaments that aren't like already up, and because we're gonna shut everything down and fix this.
Okay. Yeah. So hopefully
Okay.
that gets solved.
They fixed it by noon today, according to chat.
Great.
Okay,
about
cool.
that?
I would love to see a second confirmation in chat if possible. Good. Person who said it the first time types it again. Okay, you need duplicate on this form. I can do that.
It's a 24-hour news cycle, Dan. We don't have time to get it right.
Okay. Understandable.
Hey, real quick, is Rashid in the cast yet?
Not yet, but he's
Define
like
the word yet.
Is
Because
he
he's here in
playable?
no.
You guys have fun on Friday. I got stuff to do.
Ah, damn. Damn.
Capcom, I need you. I don't care which one. But
Uh-huh.
you need to either give me Armika, Alex, or Urian. One of those three. And because I'm a kind soul, also give everybody who wants Makoto.
Yeah, I saw some dialogue line in World Tour that references her dojo's doing well. So
Cool.
that's like, okay.
Her
I feel
dojo
like putting-
upstate is doing great. No! She's having a fun time on the dojo, running around
You
with all the
have
other
to
kung
put-
fu girls.
You have to put Makoto in the game with fucking Drive Impact.
Yeah, it just feels wrong to not get literally every Third Strike character in this.
Have you how are the modern controls?
I haven't touched them.
Really?
Yeah, the World Tour mode forces you to use them for a little
okay.
bit. So I did it for that, and then I was like, off.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I
It's
don't.
just too ingrained.
I've played Street Fighter basically my entire life.
Got
It's
it.
hard to go to.
Right, because
Now
when you
these
push a
buttons
button,
don't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you push a button, you expect it to do a thing. It's like if you abstracted movement out in the 3D platformer to hitting square. It just feels weird. But it's serviceable enough. I've kicked the ass of plenty of people using modern controls.
It's definitely helpful.
And even if
you're
you do
bad
get
at
it.
execution. And
Yeah.
I personally, because no, like I'm not gonna learn charge canceling. I'm in my 30s and I did not learn charge canceling. I'm not gonna learn it now. The only character I currently have set to modern controls is Guile.
Charge canceling is a young man's game.
Yeah, I got used to charge moves for Chun-Li, but you'd use them so much more infrequently with her than Guile. Like Guile's whole moveset's that, whereas Chun-Li's like 2 moves.
Yeah, I actually really like playing Guile, but I'm not good at doing charges, so I was going to try him with modern controls in the new game when I got around to that. But I spent so little time with the new game, only 7 hours of online the whole time, that I just stuck with Ryu the whole time just to get used to the feel of this one. But yeah, I feel like I'm really interested in them having the modern controls just so I can try that.
Yeah.
Because I really did, in Alpha 3, enjoy Guile. Just, I'm not good at charging. I think it's really insane that you have the drive, like, rush, I think it's called.
Yeah, that thing
Basic-
is really hard to get used to.
Basically, what you do is you engage the drive mechanic, which feels like you're... How do you... So...
For that one, during certain moves, you can double tap forward.
Yes.
And you get like a green aura, and you get to cancel out of certain moves by doing this.
Yeah, so it's a really weird running them down mechanic, which is really cool. It is really, really cool, but
Yeah,
like
and then Zangief fucking jump scares you with it.
yes, yeah, it's so terrifying. But anyways, I think I'm good to finish talking about Street Fighter 6. Bob, did you have anything else?
I have a few more things about World Tour.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
All positive, I see.
Yeah, his face is doing that thing it does when he wants to say positive things.
I played for 10 hours or so.
Uh-huh.
As I mentioned.
Whose fault is that?
I just want to get, like, they locked the extra outfits behind this mode.
Oh.
So if you want to get the alternate outfits for all these characters and get to see all this actual story with them, you have to play this mode. Because they do have a story mode that's like an arcade mode, but it's only like you get 1 blurb for each character. It's really, really basic. Whereas there are actually cutscenes and cool stuff for each character in this. It's really grindy. Once I got to around level 25, it started to jump me with level 30 stuff. And I couldn't figure out how to like level up effectively because there's side missions everywhere. And I was like, well, I'll just do side missions as I go. And the side missions feel like they hardly give me any experience at all.
Okay.
So what I ended up doing is there's a subway in the game. You can go in there and ride the subway train and fight dudes on the subway train. And that I find out to be the best place to level up in the whole game. I just rode the subway back and forth for like an hour, and I was like, I'm finally caught up to level 30, so I continue playing the game.
Did you try to look it up at any point just to see if anyone had like a more optimal grinding strategy?
No, I didn't.
Just curious because that could be it, but I don't know.
Yeah, and then it's really frustrating in a fighting game to get locked like that hardcore of like, yeah, now you do like minuscule amounts of damage against dudes who can kill you in 3 hits.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's like
I call that a Dark Souls boss.
So I'm really not liking that mode. I wish it was way more streamlined and like, okay, yeah, all this is here, but you don't need the grind. But other than that, like everything else in the game is really good. It's so weird that this has such a weird tilt to it where it's so focused on that.
As a point of comparison, the World Tour mode in the PS1 version of Street Fighter Alpha 3, if you do not do very well in every fight, you will finish the game nowhere near max level because you were not cool enough to get the maximum amount of experience points from every battle. I simply owned a Game Shark, so
That was that.
I had a level 32 Ken on the back of the PS1. Did you have other comments?
Not really. That's basically it.
Okay, Chris, did you have anything else you want to say about Street Fighter 6?
No, I think that's pretty good.
Eric, did you want to pretend you played Street Fighter 6 as Rashid?
I would not.
Okay. Hey, Bob, did you play anything else?
I guess not. Yeah, I didn't have time to play the Wonderful One. I'm sorry.
Sorry, everyone. We know you were waiting for Bob to play that DLC.
Yeah, DLC
Edge of my
Part
seat.
2.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. You're slipping off.
I mean, it's the back edge, but it's
it's still an edge.
edge.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Hey, Eric.
Hey,
What you been playing?
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Because the last time I was on a podcast was 5+ years ago. And I've happened to bring a list of every game I've played since then. That's right, kids. I'm back from the corner store and I brought a shit ton of milk and cigarettes.
No longer my podcast. Eric's Wild Ride.
Actually, no. I'm just going to condense it down to 2 games that I've been playing recently.
Okay.
Because they're thematically relevant to each other. Path of Exile and Diablo 4.
Those are oh god, I played Diablo 4. I sat there and I was like, there's some other game that was vying for my time and I cannot remember it.
Now it's time.
Hey,
Hey.
let me just change this text over here and we can have our Diablo 4 segment.
Prefacing this with Activision Blizzard is a clown company run by freaks
Yeah.
and criminals
Yeah.
who hate unions.
I'm pretty sure that's public record at this point.
Right.
Just making sure that's disclaimer.
If you're an executive at Activision Blizzard, I'm pretty sure you have to let your neighbors know.
Yes.
Which console you playing on? You
PS5.
Okay. Which
PC is dead.
did
for
you
me.
get it early?
Look. On Thursday,
These are relevant details for the
On
audience.
Thursday,
This isn't.
I was minding my own business, playing something on the PS5. And I saw our mutual friend, Ryan Secrets,
Yeah.
was playing Diablo 4.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. Then my brain caught on fire. You know how you have an Overwatch 2 disease?
I had.
Yeah,
reformed.
you kicked it? Okay.
yeah.
I have a Diablo disease.
Yeah.
And I started shaking. And I can't not play this for 4 days if I could play this for 4 days. So I bought it. Yes, I did get the early access.
Okay.
I am the clown. I am putting on the makeup. Here we go.
My brother, as I've mentioned before, got me the early edition. I don't this isn't me making fun of him. I don't know why, because my schedule is always so busy. I only had one play session during those 4 early days. Play session was like 8 hours, 9 hours. I'm level 25. I beat everything in the beta.
Yep.
You only get skill points, if I'm correct, up to level 50. So I have half of the skill points I will ever have, having finished one play session. Some of the structure stuff about Diablo 4 I was unaware of before launch. You can do the first 3 acts in any order.
That's correct.
And then Act 4 happens to you.
Yes.
Like it falls upon you.
Once you have the pieces together.
Yeah, I didn't realize it's literally scaling the entire first 3 acts
Yes, that's
of this
correct.
game to you.
I started the game with a druid and then beat Act 1 and then realized I wanted a big sword instead of a totem. And went with a barbarian and then pieced off to Act 2 and 3 and then circled back around to 1.
So I see you did the thing on Friday. You were like, I hope I don't do this.
Yes, I did. Yes, correct. Completely correct.
That's really good. I've been playing as a rogue. The rogue has a really cool combo point system where if you hit with your normal attack, it'll build up 3 pips, and now the next skill you use does like 4 times as much damage.
Yep.
So I have this really fun game. This is what it's boiled down to, because I'm playing on like world level 2, which is harder. Well,
Yeah, 2.
yeah. I mean, I'm the guy who played Diablo 2, and I'm like, set players 8.
Let's go.
Right, that's what I'm just used to. Anyways, it's a really fun game. It's called either you die in 10 seconds or I die in 40. It's literally these enemies, these important enemies who have lines they want to say and story to tell you cannot finish before I have killed them. Or there's 80 guys and I'm fucked because I was soloing at this point.
I did not have that problem.
Yeah, you're a barbarian.
I went with barbarian, specifically like a bleeding thorns barbarian.
Okay.
Which means in the fight starts, I go, y'all are bitches, and just put on my spiked jacket, and they run to impale themselves upon my flesh, including ranged attackers. So I somehow have a ranged barbarian.
Nice.
And then also those thorns make them bleed, and I make them bleed. And then while they're bleeding and their health is slowly going away, I can use another skill that cashes in that bleeding damage.
Yes.
And then make him explode in blood.
Yes.
And heal myself. Pretty good. It's
So the
worked out well.
barbarian's a blood mage.
Correct.
In
yes.
a sense. Yeah.
It's worked out pretty well, except for one boss in Act 3 that was like, would you like to die in 2 hits? I have red energy, which is
the boss in Act 3 is like, all things in life are a puzzle and I am the solution. Like Polygon Man?
But then I got a helmet that just, the more enemies are around you, the more you heal per second. I went, wow, I don't use health potions anymore. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, the way you get more health potions in that game is really weird because you build renown.
Yeah, you build reputation with the questing and
in
finding
the section.
You,
So
you can do stuff to increase.
Just wander
your,
everywhere and do side missions. and
Pretty
then
much, yeah.
Here's one more potion.
Yeah, including, and you can get 2 skill points and a potion per zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the fucking battle pass with this game? Because I
don't.
refuse to look at it.
I haven't looked at it yet either.
So there's in Diablo 2, I'm pretty sure P would bring up player.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was, and even show your stats or whatever. So one of the first thing I did in Diablo 4, and this was really not intentional. This wasn't like, I'm going to talk about the shittiest part of this game. I hit P thinking it would do that. And then it brought up the pay for money shop.
Oh.
And they were just like, you want to spend $60 on this currency? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I don't even know what that currency's for. I already forgot.
Another thing that should be fucking illegal.
It's 70. It's a $70 game. To the 2 people on staff here, technically a $90 game or
It's
whatever.
true. Yes.
It felt a little weird.
It's not an auction house, but it's still scummy.
Okay, the battle pass starts a few weeks from now.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
All right.
Yeah, Street Fighter is also going to have a battle pass, but that has not launched yet, so we do not know how that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just curious if you knew. Cause
No, I didn't know.
for me, it was just I'm playing the game and I'm going to play through the game and then I'm going to be done with the game.
Do you like the game? You had unkind things to say during the beta, so I wondered if anything changed playing the release.
As I thought about what I would say during this segment, I'm playing the game and I thought about how this concept is a little bit too large to express well on a podcast, which I realize is increasingly becoming a problem for me when I want to communicate something that's a larger, more abstract, systematic thing,
It's too
systemic
big for
thing.
the big think dimension.
Yeah, it's too big for the big think dimension. It's vast concept, not vast think dimension. In modern video games, a lot of them, in order to make missions in a tool set that they make the games with, they sort of need the missions to fit in a square.
Okay.
Because their tools can make missions in this way. And already just doing this stuff in Act 1, it has a lot of that energy where it's just like, this sister from the church is going to get rid of this demon. Enter the basement in everyone's house that has the demon. And I'm like, why do you have these cellars if they all have demons? So I enter it, I do the battle, and then I go to do the next thing on this storyline. And then enter this cellar to fight. And I'm like, another one? There's another fucking thing like this. So same structure. I enter the weird dungeon under someone's house to do the thing we're going to exercise a guy.
Was it the lady? Yeah, it was
Yeah,
exercising. Yeah.
And then there was one that was like, okay, now enter it again. I'm like, is this really happening? And as I enter it, they're like, oh, when you entered, he actually ran past you and left. So now leave the cellar to go find where he went. It was the sewers. And I'm like, oh my God. And I sort of had this feeling of like, I kind of wish everything didn't need to fit in a weird, easy to make square in modern video games. I kind of wish you could just script a thing. And my brain thought of like, cutscenes in old JRPGs, and it's just like, well, if we can move the sprite, it can do that during the story sequence or whatever. And in Diablo 4, it's a lot of like, we're just gonna have our character idle animation as we hang out near each other and tell a story. Like, there's a really fucked up story in this game where a dude seemingly influenced by a demon, and they don't really fill in a lot of the details I'm not gonna express. Just imagine they aren't there. Has his skin flayed off, and it's just strung up in the forest.
The
hooks in
Hellraiser
his
reference,
flesh.
correct?
Right. And he's just like, oh, I've experienced such pain, such pleasure. And then his wife is like, oh, no. That demon that did this to him was right there and ran just barely off screen. Go do the combat.
Yeah.
So that was another character where she was like, ha, 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 warrior, you'll... And then I killed her because...
correct. Yes.
So then I walked
You'll
back.
never defeat my evil powers. No.
Right. Yeah, no, it really is that fast as the rogue.
I slotted that in as, oh, it's a kooky reference. There it is. Bye.
So I come back to him, and she's like, his wife is just like, oh, we need to end his pain and suffering. Do this last thing for me. Remove the blade from his intestines. That'll. Yeah. And he's just wiggling in this dagger staying
He's like,
perfectly still. He really is like, hi, ladies. Just playing that song where Bender did the fucking alcohol and nachos. Anyway. Then I remove the knife, and then he dies, and his wife walks, she says one more line, walks 7 feet away, and then fades away.
Yes, correct.
And that happened with so many characters in the game where they stopped even trying to walk out of frame to fade away. And I'm like, I just wish modern games didn't have that problem as much. Moment-to-moment gameplay, it's a rogue. Either I kill them in 10 seconds or I die in 40. Okay. So it's a pretty simple equation. It seems okay. It seems all right. I don't think, keep in mind, I got this as a birthday present, right? It was free for me, technically. Yeah. And I'm like, this is fine. Like, I'll beat it, and assuming I found the time. Right. Because, as I said, I spent like 8-ish hours playing the game, and I beat Act 1 of 4. But it's fine.
Yeah. It's a fun game. It is a slightly darker Diablo 3 with skill trees.
Yeah, my brother has not stopped expressing how much he appreciates it. It's not the Saturday morning cartoon that he keeps calling 3.
I don't hate 3.
He's like, Nephilim, you'll never get me. And I'm just like, yeah.
3 is the best version of what it is.
I'll always be angry
so am I right now.
I think that it can't get any more itself. It's so, like, yeah, it wants to be giant, bright lights, high, weird fantasy that thinks it's dark but isn't. Like,
God.
But it's like if you engage it
what they did was
on that level,
so many characters.
It's kind of enjoyable.
Bob, we're like 12 years, 14 years in. Anyone who cared already knows what happened to Deckard.
Right.
No. That bitch is dead.
That bitch is dead.
Oh, wait, I'm behind Chris. Me making a big shocked face isn't going to play.
No. Yeah, they killed Deckard Cain in 3 for emotional impact.
No, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that's what you do when you don't know what to write. You just kill a character. Gears of War is real good at that.
I like the.
I saw Cliffy V tweet like, if they do another Gears, they need to kill Marcus. It's like, just shut up.
Yeah, they really left those tool sets at the Coalition when they left the franchise with them. Anyway.
I mean, I'm only.
But yeah, the cutscenes are really pretty, and the story seems really cool.
Yeah,
like I'm enjoying that aspect of it. I'm excited to hit acts where I haven't seen the cutscenes.
Yes. Yeah. No, they get interesting. They get.
I hear those cutscenes play right now, unlike the beta.
Really?
Ooh.
That's what you told me. You said that the horse cutscene worked.
Oh yeah, I'm like, it's 24 frames per second. I would not call that playing right, but yes, that's true. The horse worked, but you'll recall in the beta, the horse worked for me almost every time. It only didn't work for me like once, maybe twice out of 5 times. You, however, every single time, the horse is walking away alone, or the guy's floating away without the horse,
or the horse gets stuck on the very first thing in the scene.
Yeah,
and then the camera keeps following the not horse.
And that's what happened to me the one time where I'm just like, he just can't make that corner. That horse got stuck.
Speaking of like weird bugs, nothing game breaking. Mostly funny. Sometimes a guard will be stuck in like an infinite loop in like 1 square foot and just spin. Similarly, I'll sometimes have a boss character, like a unique monster kind of thing, spawn and just circle me.
Yeah.
Without fighting.
Yeah, I've
without
actually
attacking.
What are they, Redfall enemies?
Yeah, absolutely. And just,
Swim
I'm just
first.
Like, oh, okay, all right, and they're dead. Like,
Right, yeah.
Great, cool.
Yeah,
I love
had
that.
I had that happen 1 or 2 times with important enemies and a few more times with unimportant ones. I was like, oh man, that was great. I took 0 damage because his AI is broken.
yeah.
Yeah. It hasn't been too bad of a problem for me. I don't know if the other acts are worse about it.
It
but-
was like, oh well, it's funny more than anything. It didn't kill me or anything like that. But no, the game itself is fun to play, easy to go through. I can like think of like, oh, I could do that build. That looks cool.
Yeah, they give
Do
you a lot of
that.
decisions in this. I
Yeah.
like this a lot more than 3 in regards to
The
the
fact
skill
that
tree.
it's decisions and not
Right.
just an endless
Inevitabilities,
tapestry.
yeah.
Inevitability. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
I want to go and make a bunch of characters.
Cool.
And like it's just enough like mechanics and like statuses and like things like that I can go, okay, that works with that and this, and I can just kind of put the puzzle together in VR and just kind of. It's great. It feels
But what
good.
if Diablo was VR?
Oh my god! What if it was playing on your table in front of you
It's been really.
and you were wearing a snorkel?
I've been playing on PC. I guess I didn't say that. I should say that. I've been playing on PC. The game runs really well. It's really funny because when you alt tab out of Diablo 4, if it's not the primary window in Windows, it will run the entire game at 24 frames per second to save energy and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll literally hear my GPU have less coil whine. Like I'll hear the literal voltage traveling through the 4090 drop. And I was like, what the? Oh my God, was that because I alt tabbed? Like it was a moment that scared me. Like I thought something in the room broke or something. Yeah, the PC version's been really solid. I have no problems. Even my brother's like, yeah, there's a little bit of rubber banding when I travel across
Sometimes.
certain lines. I haven't had that happen once, weirdly.
Really?
I guess it was the time of day I was playing. I have no idea.
And it only lasts for like 2 seconds. It's just
Right.
like,
Yeah, I remember that being pretty bad during the beta. So.
And luckily, all the time I threw in was before the peasants got to play the game. Oh, thank God I wasn't paying with them. They can only afford a $70 game. Jesus. But it's been interesting seeing people like Digital Foundry, Alex Battaglia cover the PC version, being like, this is what the game looks like with 8 gigs of VRAM. This is not good enough. And I'm just like, oh, that's... I would simply have 24 gigs of VRAM. Someone's going to be like, Dan, your GPU doesn't have that much. And I'm like, well, I don't need to know that because... But yeah, I assume on PS5 it looks pretty good.
it looks great.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic.
I hear it even looks surprisingly serviceable on the Series S.
What?
So,
Good job, Blizzard.
right?
Now,
This doesn't have ray tracing, so why even play it?
Trash.
this was a
for peasants.
40-second Digital Foundry video where they did intro, them saying that, and it ended. But yeah, did you play anything else? Oh yeah, you said Path of Exile.
So now you remember how I said that there's just enough pieces and stuff and ailments and like status effects to piece together an interesting build pretty easily.
Yeah.
What if instead it was 10 times that, and you didn't have a skill tree, but the sphere?
But it's some sort of Minotaur's labyrinth.
Yeah, people keep saying the sphere grid, but I opened that thing once and it was like, there's 100 different choices and
It's
directions.
not a sphere
and
grid.
So this is literally nothing like the sphere grid,
The
which was
sphere
very
grid is
Well,
unidirectional.
it's like the expert sphere grid.
Linear roads that you go on, and eventually you can go on other roads, but they're all straight lines that are curved.
Yeah, it kind of made me think more of the license system from 12, just because that
little
was a
bit.
weird thing where it's like every character has the same board and they get to go directions on it.
Okay.
So is this experience a good?
Yes. It's for insane Diablo fanatics who want more complexity. And you can suss out Unga strategies in that complexity, and it's really satisfying when you do. If you can see past the mist, you can see, oh, this is just the top is int, then strength, and then dex. And I go around the tree and skills cater to those kinds of stats and the passives. And you can even search for keywords like, I only want to do things with minions. Here are all the nodes with minions. Just travel to them on the grid. I want to do things with axes. These are the axe spots. Go there. It's like, it's not that bad. It's just the dumbest, most intimidating way to present this information.
Well, yeah, that's part of the appeal.
Yeah.
They're like, here's the skill tree. It starts playing SimCity music. It's a city builder.
I'm so calm right now.
Your sewage is just overflowing on your skill tree.
I wonder if Path of Exile 2 is going to be the same way.
I've seen that they've tried to simplify and streamline some stuff because also skills are socketable gems into your equipment, and all equipment has sockets that are of one of 3 colors that you can only socket those kind of color skills into them. And there are modifiers to them too. So I could have a summon necromancer, the witch, that'll summon a skull that'll go out and attack something, or I can add a modifier where it's a burning skull now, and it'll go out and burn everything around it, and you can go in crazier than that.
He spoke of Cookie Clicker in the same fucking voice when he tried to explain that to me years ago.
Hey. So I was able, also like corrupted versions of skill gems can also drop that have like, if you kill enough enemies, you gain a charge of it, and it gives you a super move. For example, one of them I made a poison rogue. I would throw these darts at enemies, and then they would boomerang back to me. And if they hit me, they would kind of orbit me. And you can get like to 30 of those at a time. Then if you use
that's a lot. Yeah.
Then when you use another move like a dash, you can shoot them all off of you, or like a certain number of them at a time. And poison shit will spread out, and you'll hit them with your dash, but also these poison things. Like, oh, that's a really cool and effective little combo.
Yeah,
it worked really well. And then dropped that super gem that once I filled up enough things to kill it, I was able to press it, and now I spawn 15 of those a second on me, and my cap is up to 50 for 6 seconds. So I am now using this dash and lawn sprinklering poison glaives all over the battlefield. Another one I got of a teleport strike where I click, I teleport to an enemy, and I attack them. I got the super skill that lets me teleport 25 times in rapid succession doing 0 damage, and at the end of it, I go, perhaps this is our destiny, and they all take damage at once.
This sounds like the mechanics equivalent of me doing Drown the Witch at the end of fucking Nuts and Bolts, right? Except for everyone looked at me like I was a deviant, and all of you Path of Exile players are deviants.
The last one that I will say, and this is the one that carried me through to most of the end game, was a holy necromancer, where instead of summoning zombies and skeletons, every time someone died, I had a chance to summon a holy glowing warrior that would just zap things from the heavens for me, in addition to melee people. And I would sit there and go, buff my guys, lightning damage, buff my guys. And eventually got another super gem, which took the dudes that were the best that would send divine bolts at people. I could just turn one of them into a living god, and he had 30 times the firepower, where normally one of those minions would just shoot up a bolt and it would hit a guy, and now he shoot up a bolt, and an area of effect holy lightning storm would just obliterate anything in the field, and he'd follow you for like 30 seconds.
He's like, that was pretty cool, right? And you're like, yeah, sure was. You leaving anytime soon? He's like, no, I'm good for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Then I'm out.
Yeah.
Stamina's gone.
I'm here as his minion at that point. Like, I'm just following his orders.
That is true.
I'm merely the conduit.
Yes. But no, the game is cool, is neat, is stupidly intimidating, but there's a way through it, and you can make some interesting stuff with it.
So you're also playing that on PS5,
That
right?
is PS5. That is free to play, which I imagine Path of Exile 2 is also free to play.
Cool.
But it was very interesting playing Path of Exile a bunch, and then Diablo 4, and then seeing Diablo 4 is, compared to Path of Exile, sedated. That game is sobered up. It's paying its taxes. It's going to work every day. Path of Exile is doing benders on the weekend.
Right.
Just showing up drunk to work and stealing from the cash register.
Yeah, Diablo 4 shows up and you're like, wow, that's great. You came in, you're fully clothed. There are no stray cats you brought in with you.
No.
Good job on showing up to work, buddy.
Yeah.
Good job. But did you play anything else?
No.
Okay.
I did not.
Hey, Aggro.
Hey.
Who's looming behind Chris? Did you play anything?
Help me.
I wish I could.
I have reached that point in Tears where you remember how last week I said I was going to go do the Lightning Temple?
Yeah.
I'm not over there
What
yet.
changed?
I went south and I have been dicking around in the 3 southern provinces.
Yeah.
Not even like going in a direction and doing all the stuff that I see. I've been in this random zigzag of priorities shifting, and I haven't done half the shit in the areas. I've just been going from thing to thing, and I don't know anymore. Like, I think right now, where I saved, I was standing on the ground in between those, you know, that mountain that's cut in half. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember why I'm there.
You pull your Switch out of its case, and there's a photo behind it. It says "Don't trust him," and it's a picture of you playing fucking Tears of the Kingdom.
You're covered in blood at the end of a moblin camp. 2 weapons in your hand, 2 weapons on your back. What was I doing?
Like, I think I'm down to my last geoglyph. I just kept diving them, and I swear I put my Switch into rest mode, and I went to go make lunch, and as I'm making lunch, I'm thinking, what was I doing? I don't remember what I was supposed to go do the lightning temple out in the Gerudo area. I haven't even seen the desert yet. What did I do all day?
These things happen.
I did so much cooking.
I will tell the smallest anecdote. This is not spoilers at all. Thus, me not playing the music. So you know how the Gerudo Desert, have you seen it even? Have you entered it?
I haven't been out there.
It may be hard to navigate out there.
Oh, yeah?
Unless you're diving in like Black Adam, which is how I always travel. So when they were like, "Good job, traveler," I'm like, what? I tried so hard.
That looks bad.
I tried so hard this time to be like, I'm going to follow the road where all the interesting stuff is and see it the way it's intended to be. And then I'm over a cliff face looking down at the Zora City like, damn it, I did it again.
I love that you're just having you are literally living the adventure game version of I took some drug at a party and woke up on the mountainside not knowing what happened or what day it is.
Was it that webcomic that was like, "Hey, where am I? You are the ninth circle of hell. I was looking for the fridge and got lost. I am not a clever man."
I'm like halfway through rebuilding a coastal village, and I'm like, when did this begin? I'm like wearing the shirt from Wind Waker, and I'm building a house, and I'm like, what the fuck happened here? What is the, like, because you start the game, and like I did 3 fucking temples, and there was order to it, there was structure, and I'm like, what is this whole southeast swath is just chaos to get lost in.
Yeah, it's really great, isn't it?
It's so
It's
good.
so good.
It's honestly, it's the reason, it was the same with Breath, that my brain doesn't do that whole, you have to clear this entire section before you leave. Because my brain doesn't think there are a checklist of things to clear.
Right.
This is just a place, so it has shit in it.
Right, yeah. And it really does feel like that. It feels like it's infinitely dense with like just cool shit. And if you don't want to engage with it, just keep walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you better hope that guy was a sign. Otherwise, you suck.
Every time.
Every time.
That guy's a priority.
That guy is the funniest guy in gaming.
I love Sign Man.
He's so good.
And you just sit there and it's like, oh, I'm holding it in this really crazy way on the edge of a cliff. Can you stop me? And I'm like, this is the simplest shit in the world, my man. Just glues 2 things together like this, puts it up underneath, and he's like, he just soy jacks and points at the thing I built to hold his shit up.
I don't understand why this dude doesn't understand that signs are usually embedded in the ground.
Yeah, I don't. Well, he needs to build the part he's going to put on top. Yeah, he doesn't
I
get it.
He's the literal worst employee of the Hudson Construction.
We better hope.
Oh my God. I was going to do it this time. I was going to complete one of those pick up the crystal and follow the beam to where the shrine is quests, because they gave me a bunch of Zonai parts to make a flying machine out of. So I made the flying machine and I glued the crystal to it, and we're flying across the expanse. I got 3 fans and 4 batteries and 2 rockets. It's fine. We get there, and I've been doing a lot of boats recently. So when you've got a boat with a control stick, when you want the boat to stop going, you press B, so you get off the control stick and the fans stop and the boat pretty much stops.
Yes.
When you are on a flying contraption, you press B and you let go of the control stick and you stop moving. And the flying machine does not. And the crystal you have glued to it just sails off into the distance. And you say, fuck it, and jump off the Sky Island.
That's pretty close to what happened to me one time where I found these pieces to build a thing to get the crystal back to where I came from after battling the Battle Blocks character, the Minecraft monster. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. We're going to build a thing to get this back over there. Unfortunately, I don't have a control stick yet, so we're just going to build the thing and we're going to try our best to aim it. So I build this thing. I attach the crystal to it. I launch it. These are two disparate islands. Important that you understand this. So I had to do this to get back. So I'm flying a little too fast, directly overhead of the thing I'm supposed to get the crystal to. And I'm like, oh shit, this is going way faster than I thought. So I grab the crystal. I'm like, ah! And then I just throw it over the edge. And it perfectly bounces just off of the edge of that island. And I'm like,
oh no.
Had me one of those. I love the way a lot of the quests, the side quests in the game are set up to where you can just randomly complete them before you get them. So, like I said, I got the Wind Waker shirt. And then, like, I was talking to some kids, they're like, our dad lost his favorite blue shirt. Can you help us find his... What the fuck are you wearing? Give me my dad's shirt back.
I'm wearing my shirt.
So I do. I'm like, here, like, I had to go into the menu and unequip it and talk to him again. And he's like, oh, thanks. We go to his dad, and their dad's like, no, I was talking about a different shirt. My wife doesn't like this shirt. You can keep it.
that's great.
Quest completed.
Yeah, I love every time I walk up to someone and I'm like, hey, what's your deal? And they're like, oh my God, here's this giant elaborate story. I need beetles. And I'm just like, check this out.
Just emptying your pockets, crawling out of your pants.
Pockets full of beetles.
They're like, I smell the beetles in your pocket.
Yeah, every time they do that, I'm like, bitch, you can smell beetles? That's fucking freaky. You're into weird shit.
What's that I see in your pouch?
My
half this continent. What the fuck? What do you want?
Wait, Dan, you're saying the bug girl from Twilight Princess is in this game?
I didn't think about that when I was talking to her, but there is literally a character who's like, I can tell you have bugs on you. Give them to me. Give me the bugs. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
Nope.
Okay. Hey, Chris, aside from Street Fighter 6, you play anything?
Yeah, I streamed Brave Fencer Musashi.
No,
Hell yeah.
And I missed it.
That's a pretty great game. It's kind of like Zelda, but I have a sneaking suspicion it's probably closer to like Square Enix trying to do their own version of Mystic Ninja Goemon.
Yeah.
It was the English script was done by the same team that did the English script for Super Mario RPG, I think. So it has a really good script in English.
That makes sense. Okay.
And then it has a lot of voice actors that you've heard everywhere.
Of course.
Like the one for Flan from Disgaea is the princess, and Musashi himself is Izzy from Digimon.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's Barbara Goodson. It's like, no, it's not Chris. Barbara Goodson did not voice Izzy. That's a different person. I'm like, oh, they sound really similar. Then the rival character shows up and is Barbara Goodson.
They needed a weapon to equal the power of Metal Gear.
Steve Bloom is there, and he plays Char.
God, I need to replay this so bad.
Yeah.
It has one of the greatest characters in video game history, Rutrick.
Oh, Richard.
The second lieutenant of the Thirst Quencher Empire, because everybody's name is a food pun, so the evil empire is the Thirst Quencher Empire. But in Japan, they're booze, but they couldn't be booze in
Isn't the
English.
place
Of
you're
course.
saving the all-you-can-eat empire?
Yes, you're in the all-you-can-eat kingdom.
Yes.
So there's like Princess Filet, and everybody's named after food. Like you have to save mercenary Meatloaf is one of the guys you rescue.
So what, he's
So-
just like,
so-
Musashi's
so
like,
this
my name's
dude-
Musashi. Like, I don't understand. What?
When?
This dude talks
Musashi.
like a hick.
Oh, yeah,
And he's
Richard.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, where he tells the princess to shut up or she's gonna get a licking. So he kidnaps the princess at the start of the game, makes you fight a boss. Like an hour later, you have to have a climbing contest with him to the top of a cliff to get a MacGuffin. And you think, oh, I beat you, Rutrik. Now I'm going to go get the item. No, Musashi just walks to the edge of a cliff holding a giant boulder like Kid Goku and just throws it down on him. And he's gone from the game for 8 hours.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's genuinely up in the air. He's dead. But yeah, that's a really neat game. You kind of do every single thing in it just playing normally, though. Like, once you beat it once, there's not really any mystery left. It does not have a dearth of optional content. It sure has a lot of moments that they just decide to fucking stress you out, though. It's like, this giant steam engine's going to explode in 24 hours, which is 24 minutes in game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because there is a day
Go do a platforming challenge. This child is going to die in 12 minutes. Go do a platforming challenge. Uh-oh, the steam engine's going to blow up again. The layout's now harder and you have to find the handles to the fucking valves to turn them that got scattered throughout the fucking level. You have 24 minutes. Go.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to that game and optional content, a lot of it is the action figures.
Oh yeah.
Which are the
yeah.
coolest shit in the world.
Yeah, it's so they made so many. They made way higher fidelity models because they only exist in like a void.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
a lot of every character and every enemy. I was sitting here like, why?
Because it's awesome. It's like one of the best parts of an incredibly great game.
Like, were they planning like a Dreamcast version that would have used these? It's fucking weird.
Now I'm remembering that weird part of Wanted Dead where you got models of literally everything in the game.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think all modern video games should just be like, you collected the model, but it's an action figure, and you push a button to make a sound, and you push another button to do an action. Yeah, the karate chop action. Yes, exactly.
There really is something to like. Maybe we streamlined games too much, because this game has RPG mechanics that kind of don't matter.
Yeah.
And it also has like combo attacks you can learn that also don't matter.
But it matters to me.
Yeah, it matters to me. The game would be lesser if it didn't happen. But like, you can't use any of your stats or moves on bosses. Bosses take as many hits as they take. It becomes platformer bosses.
Huh.
Like every major boss takes 3 hits, and it's about just getting them into the part of their cycle where you can hit them.
Mm.
Except for the last boss, who is Frieza. He starts off as a tall, Satan-looking dude with huge horns. Then he turns into a xenomorph. And then he turns into final form Frieza.
Delicious.
Wow.
You know, sometimes the design just works. Yeah. Just take it wholesale. Why not?
Why not?
The classics.
Yeah.
Very cute, cool game. Delightful art and music. Delightful voice acting. I played it on the Mister's PS1 core, which worked splendidly.
Oh yeah.
That core alone like massively inflates the value of the Mister, in my opinion.
Yes, it does.
Man, they need to do like a re-release or something, like to bring back Musashi. They're bringing back everything else over Square.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
I hope that you could just up-res that game.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be fine.
I'm like, yeah, we need that more than we need a Final Fantasy 9 and before I could say that, Agro's fucking hand is around my neck and lifting me out of my chair. And Bob and Eric, even though they're here in the room, they're like, Chris, stop! That's what it looks like.
I also picked up We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie. We Love Katamari is a great game. This is a great port of a great game. I sure hope they do the others, and they're like, we have all these assets now. Let's make one of the exact same visual fidelity, but now we can actually have you rolling up trillions of things because of the PS5.
Right. The thing is, all of these, both of these remakes are in Unity, as far as I know. So they really just made all those assets compatible with Unity. It's like, okay, keep going.
Yeah, make a new one.
Make a new one. Do it.
They could make a new one, but there's still 3 more they can remaster. There's the Xbox 360 one, there's the PS3 one, and there's the PSP one they could do.
Yeah, I've never played the 360 one, but I have played
I need to play the 360 one. It's on Xbox back compat.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like I played it and it was weirdly like it was, you know how We Love made the game longer.
Yeah,
I feel like Beautiful takes us back down to like the scale of the first game. Like it's
cool.
Real short again.
I'm okay with that.
Right.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people aren't, but
they probably had to do that because they decided to make 2 fucking games for different consoles.
yeah, I still don't know what was behind that choice.
Yeah, and it was like years apart too.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird.
That new mode they added sure is nothing.
I was worried about that because that was
It's
the only new
literally-
thing they advertised.
Because in the game, there's these cutscenes of the king of all cosmos telling the story of his youth,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all stuff like he fought a bear in like a boxing ring, and shit like that. So he drops like the bamboo sword of memory in the hub, and if you interact with it, you can go play levels based on these memories, and they're each like a minute long and rehashes of levels that are already in the game. It's like do the mission where you roll up fireflies, but this time it's fighting spirit, and you have to roll up enough of them to knock out the boxer.
Why even do it then?
You remember the level where you're in the racetrack? You're on the racetrack again, but instead of just getting as big as possible, you're rolling up specifically tires this time.
I guess it's kind of neat. At least you get playable young King of the Cosmos, which is very funny.
I actually hate that to some extent because I'm like, oh god, he did look exactly like the prince, which means the prince will eventually look exactly like him. I was so just writing it off in my head. Nah.
You do get to see the king of all cosmos' dad, because you go up to talk to him before the levels, and it's him now instead of the king of all cosmos.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And he doesn't talk, he just makes like non-committal grunts at his son, and there's like brackets with what he's saying in it. Like that is what is being conveyed, but he's only just grunting. Did I play anything else other than those 2 games? I played the Anton Blast demo that came out yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted
that's
to.
right.
I was wiped after
Yeah.
the Volvy conference.
we
though.
barely slept before that fucking conference.
Yeah.
Anton
The,
Blast, if you
gorilla
don't
one.
know, it is the second Wario Land like coming out this year after Pizza Tower.
Yeah, it's insane. Both these ended up in the same year. It's great.
You play as Anton, who seems to just be a dick. Like he's just a lunatic with a giant hammer who loves money and drinking and bombs.
Okay. So they captured Wario's essence. I see.
And it plays like a modern, really slick version of Wario Land 4.
Cool.
And you can do stuff like you jump up and you do a spin jump with his big hammer, and when you hit the ground doing that, you bounce higher. And there's Wario Land-esque power-ups, that last until you hit the enemy that turns them off.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 2 levels in that demo, but it's supposed to be out later this year. It's supposed to be out like October and November, I think. You can go check it out. I think that was a very cool demo. And I'm just sitting here like, did I play anything else? Was there a single other thing? Other than Street Fighter and all that other shit. No, there isn't. That's it. I'm done.
That's great. Hey, Aggro, talk about anything for 1 minute.
I feel like we
Aggro's
should give
like,
that
let
one.
me start with this is your fault.
So the English word scimitar that came to be used in the 17th to 18th century to basically refer to any sword made east of Poland that is curved.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
An interesting thing about a lot of those blades that people you don't pick up on at first brush. A lot of like North African swords, a lot of Arabian swords, a lot of Indian swords, a lot of Afghani swords actually have German-made blades. Solingen, the town in Germany, they made pretty good steel, and they made a shit ton of it, and they made it cheaply, and they shipped them all over the world. So you'll get like a Talwar, it's an Afghan sword, but you take a look at the blade, it's the same blade that might be on a 1796 light cavalry saber, just re-hilted.
Huh.
So a lot of people that talk about like, oh, these people made the best deal. Oh, these people made the best deal. No, it turns out sword blades were kind of a trade good that just went back and forth in bulk quantities.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get your shit like specifically made for you by like the Wilkinson and his son, like it's probably just, you know,
Did it cut flesh?
Yeah.
Cool. Mission accomplished.
probably just some mass produced shit from Solingen.
Wow, yeah, I assumed that they would the steel got shipped around and done that way. It's not the whole blade.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Mhm. I mean, you know, like you'd get them modified or cut up and rehilted. You'd also get a lot of like Indian made blades put onto English service hilts because, you know, like we're in India. What are you going to come check up on me that I'm using an actual patterned sword?
Right?
Wow, that's really crazy. Podlords.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it's my first time.
fuck.
Oh, fuck. The Podlords.
I didn't buy it, Eric. I'm sorry.
He's the faking peddler.
Get podlorded up.
Podlord up, samurai. Yes, that's right. The very quickly thrown together
Ooh.
Podlords.
In the same amount of time it took to talk about scimitars.
Oh, hey, look at that. Fucking Podlords. Oh my god, it's fucking Podlords. Yes, that's right. The Podlords. Podlords such as E. Lee Broyles, BN12. Mega Man as a series does not exist. Each game is a standalone. There are no Mega Man fans because each game has very little
Why? Isn't that a Mega Man DOS creature?
No, that is clearly a creation unique to its own.
Oh, I see.
Red Blaze 27, Suzushiro, Rado, One Shade of Man. That sure was a Kickstarter stretch goal DLC.
I'm sorry.
WTF Spider-Man, Mr. I Like Spam, and a Ted Lasso flashbang. Don't ask. Bob Barker here to remind you to control the indie game population. Spade or neuter your furry witch farmer today. DFW 3K. Dwarf down, 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 dwarf down.
Dwarf.
Great name, guys. Shiny Mew. Kristen. Kyle Bjork. Hi. Cat Pig to help everyone get through Summer of Games.
Oh, thank you.
Aw.
He's adorable. Blig da Blue. Actually, just Blue.
I was worried.
Monster Hunter Ryzen and Raiden. Podler, you're gonna shit your pants if they name the next expansion that for some reason. It's John Wick to John Wick 2. Cooper Tank. Me? Runuganga!
Damn it. We can't escape.
Moon Muse Entertainment Studio. Indigo Sykes. Drive Typecast. Fototetas?
Oh my god.
Hiropon Riki won the argument.
Shitbag, of course he would.
I mean, his wife's still not going to let him come back, so what's the matter?
A raccoon hiding in your drawers. Oh, that is an adorable
Oh, like
face.
okay, like drawers, like in a cabinet. Okay,
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a very different situation if it's the other one.
Wow.
Apple Gothic survived budget dimension hell to come back to this bird slander. Shinji 16 has played System Shock when it first came out. Is thrilled to report the remake is sublime and beyond expectations. Why is Dean Karya here?
We can't escape.
You cannot comprehend the totality of his existence.
The Super Mim. Self-proclaimed free thinker the hard M after seeing someone with spiky hair. Sarlene. Timothy Pfister's reaction to seeing the Cromartie Blu-ray go up for pre-order the same day as Re-Cutie Honey. Getting both though. Just overexplaining.
Priorities and taste.
Bearded Joe. Pleochrome. Krungles Bub. Don't get the image. Lord Richter either has a broken GPU or PSU, and why is troubleshooting hardware on PC a nightmare?
Good luck, man.
Why I don't use PC anymore.
This glorified Nintendo ad of a movie has way more tits and a crazier ending than I remember.
Oh no! Sorry about your middle school study hall.
Melancholic Cloud. A platformer straight out of Yoshikage Kira's Wet Dreams. Nightmare. And slightly above average. Thank you very much to our Podlord.
Thank you, Podlords.
Thank you, Podlord. And if you'd like to become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits such as early access to Chugging, Bleach, and Pokemon Go to the Movies, our 2 monthly anime review podcasts. Extended show content from other shows when indeed those shows have extended content that normal people don't get. Patron exclusive shows and like 70 commentary tracks, a bunch, lots, and a movie. You get a movie called Isolation 119. It's the only place on the internet you can watch Isolation 119, a movie about a man trying to solve the injuring of his brother primarily by drinking beers in a lawn chair in the place he rented in Thailand. That's patreon.com/GB podcast.
My God, we have to do something, so we might as well do anything.
Hey, real quick before we start
Yeah.
with news,
What's up?
this is a minor,
Uh-huh.
something I've been peripherally playing.
Yeah.
I was notified mid-podcast
Yeah.
that my wife has gotten the platinum for Elden Ring.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
It's like, thank you for doing that on my account, honey. I appreciate
God, I'm such a gamer.
I'm so good at games.
You're in this together.
We are a legally bound entity. We are one.
We are VR troopers. News. I heard we had some. I'm not positive about it.
I don't know. Nothing really happened this week.
Doesn't seem like the day for it.
Yeah, I don't.
No big events.
Did
Bob,
I,
what's that giant text document you have there?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
right.
Grocery list.
I think we're done here.
So Aggro, what do you plan on doing with it? I'm gonna say this one real quick, and we're gonna kind of move on because I don't care. The FTC is suing Microsoft for $20 million because they illegally collected information on children.
Cool.
Everyone acts surprised.
Right.
Every company's doing this at all times.
Yeah.
Let's move on to other things.
We can just run through all my shit and then go
Yeah,
to
let's do it.
E3 news.
Let's go.
So last week I said Dragon Age 4 ain't coming out.
God damn it.
Chris, how over is it?
Stop being a wizard.
It is even more over than was previously thought possible. So BioWare, they have announced that that Star Wars: The Old Republic, the Star Wars MMO that BioWare Austin ran. BioWare Austin is not BioWare.
Mhm.
BioWare's is in fucking Alberta. BioWare Austin made that MMO and that's it. And they helped with the bullshit multiplayer thing nobody played on Dragon Age Inquisition. Star Wars: The Old Republic is being given to a studio called Broadsword that was built out of the broken corpse of Mythic Entertainment. Basically, they maintain Ultima Online and Dark Age of Camelot. That's all they do. They don't make new content. So that's the end of Star Wars: The Old Republic in terms of new content. It's now on we will maintain this. I think they run classic, like, new progression servers for some of these games, like starts from zero and goes through all the expansions as if it was real time. BioWare Austin is going to have to help on Mass Effect and Dragon Age.
Yeah, two projects that are totally real still.
If you want to know how bad this is, when they were making Anthem, BioWare Austin was like, let us fucking help. We have networking experience. We run your MMO. Let us come help with that aspect of Anthem. They're like, no, you're not real BioWare. We're going to launch the biggest piece of shit in the world. So the fact that they're now being brought in just to have more bodies on the fucking pyre is... I don't think either of these games are coming out, Mass Effect or Dragon Age, because the whole Mass Effect team's also on Dragon Age. Like, it's clear that nothing else is happening until this ships, and that assumes that this shift, sending it to Broadsword, isn't just cleaning up so they can shut down everything with BioWare in the name.
You gonna do the rundown of how many people who are important have left?
I don't want to run down them all, but Dragon Age 4 has had 4 directors and 4 producers.
That's
and when I say 4 directors and say in 4, I'm not including the 2015 version that became Anthem.
God.
Cool. Great. Hey guys, you know what I get tired? What feeling I get tired of? The gut feeling that all of Western game development at the AAA level is falling apart, except for Sony. Because it's just like, I mean, I like your games, but I would like other games to come.
Well, let's go through the other thing in a similar note. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is resurfaced. They dropped 4 environmental screenshots and said come back in September for more. In addition to this, they announced all physical pre-orders are canceled.
That's always a good sign.
And if you pre-ordered it digitally, you're able to get a refund, because in their words, everything we showed and said about the game before this point is no longer applies to the game as it exists.
Just so we're clear, the only reason a company would do this is because they know they had a surefire lost lawsuit if they did not do this step.
Wow.
The rumor is that the Chinese room is developing Bloodlines 2 now. The last game they shipped was some bullshit for Apple Arcade. They made The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. They have like 20 employees. They in no way have the staff to make a game on the scale of what Bloodlines is going to be. So what I suspect happened is the publisher, in an act of stupidity and arrogance that literally belongs in Greek myth, was like stapling the Bloodlines 2 name on some low rent bullshit we had in the chamber, is smarter than just letting that game be canceled and letting people dream of it coming back someday.
Yeah, I'm tired of this feeling.
Yeah, this is rough.
It kind of sucks.
Yep.
It's going to be really hilarious when they make another Borderlands game, and it's going to be the only non-Sony AAA Western developed game to have shifted the 2 years prior to it coming out for some reason.
Yep. Lisa Definitive Edition. It's a modern version of Lisa. It comes out on July 18th.
Okay. Well, I have a really important question, Chris.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Lisa?
Okay, so Lisa is a pretty big indie game from a while back. I think it's going on its 10th. I think this is for its 10th anniversary.
Okay.
It is a RPG game. It's inspired by Earthbound. The plot is it's the post-apocalypse, every woman is dead. And this drug addict dude who was a karate teacher finds a baby girl. And then the story goes on from there. I never beat it. It was cool, but it was a little bit. I was like, I don't need this much darkness at the moment.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll get through it this time. Payday 3 launches September 21st.
Am I stupid in saying what? I feel like this came out of nowhere. Was that announced before?
It came out of nowhere. I think Payday, we were working on it, was announced.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen a billion like Payday 2 things where they're just like, hey, check out this new thing. Hey, check out this new thing. So when you wrote Payday 3's coming out, I'm like, fuck you, what? Like, I feel like
to ensure the market share just does not exist for those 12 different games Sony's working on.
Yeah.
we have people in chat
this
saying they haven't revealed any gameplay of this even. So it's not even that I missed it.
Wow.
Yeah, they said in 2016 they were working on it. Then they showed like a CG teaser on January 1st of this year. And then nothing until the announcement. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking out in September.
That's
All right.
crazy.
I hope that's good. A lot of people like Payday.
Have fun, Jade Raymond.
Yeah, every one of those studios working on a game that's like Payday.
Let's see. Should I go with something else? Nope. The Dead Cells devs are allegedly working on 2 big dormant third-party IPs. One is 2025. The other is going to be hit early access. I think they said early next year. The way they said they are reinventing both franchises. One of them is almost certainly Castlevania.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hope that's the 2025 one, because early access always makes me think roguelike.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if they announce a roguelike Castlevania, like that's the only fucking move in their book, I'm just gonna have to start mashing the incorrect button.
Yup.
Yeah.
I will buy a trumpet and engrave the word wrong on it and find a phone number.
Maybe the other one's Goemon.
That'd be funny.
It's literally my pitch.
I really hope that bullshit Getsu Fumadin shit was not like them testing the waters for roguelike Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
In good roguelike news, 30XDX going to be out soon, probably. They said, yeah, it's coming to Switch this summer, which means it will be finished soon.
Yeah, I think it was, what was it, third quarter?
Yeah, it was.
Year?
They showed that date in the in the Guerrilla Collective Q3 2023.
Yeah. And then some people said somebody tweeted an actual date, and then that tweet got deleted. I think it was IGN. And it was September, I think, which is, the last part of Q3.
Yeah.
So I guess that works.
Just barely.
For people, because apparently I haven't done a good enough job of this. 30xdx fucking rules. 30xx is a great game. That soundtrack fucking bangs. I've been listening to it for nearly 2 years and been like, oh, they're going to release it, and then it's going to be eligible for best soundtrack. And then they keep not releasing it, and I go, I don't think we should do a best soundtrack this year, guys. I don't know. Just
30XX is so fucking responsive. It feels unlike any other game I've ever played. It feels like it's reading your fucking mind.
Yeah, even the dev team said their playtesters felt like it was reading their mind because it is that responsive. It's really awesome feeling. Like 99% of why I love it so much is it is the most responsive 2D platformer literally ever made because it's running on its own engine designed to run incredibly light while still having a lot of effects on screen and a lot of really cool stuff. I love that game. That game's the number one thought I have in my head of like, what sort of video game could you run at 360 frames per second to take advantage of this ultra low motion blur 2 technology from NVIDIA? Oh yeah, 30XX. Oh no.
Yeah, that trailer they released for this was it showed a bunch of stuff I'd never seen because I hadn't played the beta in over a year.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, I guess they kept adding stuff.
Yeah, that stuff has. I'm in their Discord and I get the notifications constantly. And I read what's new, and I'm like, that's great, but it's not done. I'm just waiting till it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I played like 10 hours of it, 20 hours of it, and it's like, okay, I'll come back when you're done.
Now I'm curious.
In other Mega Man related news, Rockman Cross Dive, X Dive, whatever you want to call it, that's gone in September 27th. It's being shut down.
Yeah, the weirdest part is there's some split between who distributed which versions and whether or not it would stay up. Because, what was it? Capcom Taiwan handled all of these versions, and all of those are going down. But the company that handled the distribution in certain regions, on certain platforms, not PC, so only mobile, in only certain regions, that version will just stay up.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
Can those designs not perish in the gotcha dimension though?
Nope, sorry.
Please.
Maybe
No.
if they make an actual Mega Man X,
Right? Maybe.
I
which I
looked it
hope
up.
they will. They don't have an excuse now.
I played over 31 hours of 30XX. It's a really fucking good game, you guys.
Oh, cool.
Please give it a chance.
And in news that crosses over into E3, Atlas did a fucky wucky
Oh, yeah.
and accidentally uploaded the trailers for Persona 3 Reload, a remake of Persona 3, and Persona 5 Tactics, the new version. It's the new version of Persona Q. It's like the same art style. It's like if they made a Persona Q for Switch, and instead of being Etrian Odyssey, it was a tactics game. These were both obviously supposed to be at the Xbox show because the trailers start with big Xbox logos. They're also both day one Game Pass.
Guests on the big thing to mention.
We got Atlas on.
Yeah, the Tactica, Persona 5 Tactica, really does have that Q art style and a weird strategy game to it.
The trailer was just in Spanish. It's just tactics.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the Spanish trailer.
Could have been a typo. S is right next to A.
I like Tactica though.
Right.
I know, right?
It could
Fancy.
conceivably be Tactica, but considering there was other stuff in the trailer that was in Spanish, people are like, yeah, it's probably just that.
Well, I mean, that matches their naming convention. You all remember Persona 5 Royale.
It's Scramble.
Yes, Scramble.
Scromboli.
Scramboli? Oh, I'm so hungry. Please make the egg Scramboli.
Fight the demons.
Persona 5 Tactics is November 17th, and Persona 3 Remake is early next year.
Yeah, it's really cool that Persona 3 Remake is actually happening, and we're
Yeah.
going to get a version of that game with no obvious, like, giant red weakness spot.
Yeah, that makes me really happy.
Because there really wasn't one.
I was
like
pretty
that.
happy. I was pretty frustrated when they're like, it's on PC. It's machine learning upscaled backgrounds and has the different, because you
Yeah.
have to choose the original or the new one, and there are things with that. It's just like,
Yeah, like, here's the PSP version, which looks really bad and doesn't even have 3D models for a lot of the areas you go to.
yeah. So
It's like, what?
I'm so jazzed about this. I really liked Persona, and I really like the Persona games. I would like for there to be a good, solid, definitive version of every one of those to play.
It looked
Preferably
like-
with Spanish, like Royale.
It looked like you would control other characters too. Like I think they even showed like selecting options for party members.
It did seem that way, yeah.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, hey,
How-
look at
that's how
that.
any RPG should play.
You're
Wow.
telling me this turn-based RPG is going to let me choose what my teammates do? What the fuck's up with that? That's crazy.
I might as well just not even buy it. It's now trash.
Sure.
This dumb game for babies lets me control all my party.
I would simply be more persuasive and have conversations that lead them to make the correct decision in battle.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
still never learn what's weak to fire.
We cover. They're like, I don't know. Bushman's so strong. What can we do? Water him?
Junpei, I love you, but please.
Please, Junpei.
I'm really gonna
love
enjoy
me? Not
Johnny
the
Young
point.
Bosch's. I'm really gonna enjoy Johnny Young Bosch's portrayal of Junpei. because the old voice actor for Junpei got hit by several buses.
Oh.
It's Vic.
It was Vic.
Uh-huh.
It was-
Okay.
yeah.
A bus. Interesting.
Mm.
Sure love buses.
The only news I was going to bring, we covered almost all of it earlier in the Punching Apple segment.
Oh yes.
But there was one more detail.
Okay.
Because I wanted to share this because it's important to me. One of the reasons I seem to like my MacBook is that it doesn't get a lot of updates that break stuff. It boots really fast. It's pretty nice. And I sure would love a machine that's just a dedicated recording and streaming machine. Okay. Well, they finally made a Mac that could do that. It has PCI Express ports, so I could stick capture cards in it.
Oh, great.
$7,000. You can only get it with the biggest dick CPU GPU they offer. It is a Mac Pro.
Yep.
You some sort of peasant who can't put down $7,000 on
Yes!
a whim?
I'm still reeling from the less than that we spent on the camera shit for 3cam videos and the GPU last year. I'm still crying.
Just it's only 2 Apple VR headsets.
That's all.
That's all it is.
But those are worthless, so that doesn't mean anything.
What are you talking about, Dan? They told me the Apple VR headset was just as good as buying a high-end PC and 2 monitors.
2 4K displays.
yeah.
They sure said that in that fucking Yeah, they were like, this is a whole computer in the headset. So it's not like you're just buying a VR headset. You're buying a high-end computer and multiple monitors and what was it? A surround sound system? Because it has the...
It was a stretch.
Fucking unreal.
And then you add up all the things they show. It's like that still isn't $3,500. What are you talking about?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the fucking Oculus Quest or some shit trying to say this? Like, if you're not buying a VR headset, you're buying our dog shit fucking PC that's attached to it.
Yeah.
And you can play Creed and it'll look like shit.
Speaking of which, I should have said this during the earlier segment, but when I do get the Meta Quest 2, I am going to buy things like Puzzling Places, Pistol Whip, and Star Wars on it just to see the difference.
Compare.
Because I think it's important to know exactly how wide that chasm is to explain that to our audience. Because most people don't own 1 VR headset, let alone 2.
Just to tell them how much smarter and handsomer you were for selecting the PS4 2 is your main VR.
I'm spending $300 to prove how right I am to the internet. Definitely not to be like, is Puzzling Places still amazing in a standalone headset? Because prior to Pistol Whip, that was the thing gunning for Game of the Year. Sure. Because I spent...
They can both
Bob, we looked at it yesterday. 19 hours.
Yeah, that was crazy.
In Puzzling Places. That game's good.
Yeah.
It's like finding Christ in an app. Put that shit on the box. Anyway. Oh shit, we have to talk about these conferences.
Yeah.
I think we're just speed running it though, because we have VODs of us watching all of these.
It's true.
If you really want to feel our experience, go watch them. They're all going to be up.
I don't want to watch the Gorilla Collective.
You don't
Bob,
really
what was in
have-
the Gorilla Collective?
Yeah, Bob, what was in the Gorilla
I
Collective?
took notes of the things that stood out to me. I forgot Piss Game.
Oh, you forgot Serum, the
Understandable.
Haze-like first pissing shooter?
Yes, yeah. So if you
Serum.
if you want to go check out Serum, you can do that. You can see like
Just to be clear, chat, it is spelt like serum. They just kept saying serum, so
I mean,
if you
where
try
are
to
they
look
from?
it up, I don't know, but
sounded-
it's important to say this. It's important to say this if somebody's trying to look it up. So when we call it serum, that's why. How could you forget the first pissing shooter?
This is how I found out that no one that I know personally can spell the word serum, and I just get really mad and depressed.
Oh my god.
that's rough. Something else that was there was pretty cool. Anna Lynn. It's a maze puzzle platformer. We all thought that it was made by Way Forward because it had a art style kind of like that.
It looked like Fix It Felix,
Yes.
the character from Wreck-It Ralph, but as a girl and with the ponytail coming out of the hat, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
It has Tate mode.
And it is pixel art core like an old arcade game. And it has Tate mode, which is when you turn it vertically. It's Tate.
Oh, it's like, am I missing a video game mascot from the arcade?
Yeah.
Tate.
Yeah, it's now with Tate
another
mode in the
Volvy
upper right
situation.
corner. And it's got a picture of Volvy
Didn't
wearing
that just
shades.
drop?
Yeah, that's out now.
Yeah, that's out. I really want to go play it. It looks pretty cool. It looks really neat. 30XX, we already talked about that.
Yep.
Questmaster, I had a conversation with Bob about a month ago, and I was like, they got this Super Dungeon Maker game, and you get to make your own Zelda levels, and I think that would be really neat to do a stream of. Maybe I should contact them, see if we can figure something out, see if our friends are interested in making dungeons. In this conference, they shot that idea dead when they just, it was the people who used to make Duke fucking Nukem.
Oh God, was it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was it's
Apogee.
Apogee. Yeah, they're it's not 3D Realms, it's Apogee, but they're just like, hey, here's our really good looking version of that exact same idea with the Minish Cap art style. I'm like,
It's one-to-one
rude.
Minish Cap. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Super Dungeon
Looked pretty
Maker
great.
came out 2 months ago. For Christ's sake,
Let it rest in peace a little bit.
fuck, let it have any chance. Anyways, that looked awesome.
It's out this summer for an early access.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. It's a level creator thing. Also,
Right,
as a
yeah.
part of that final launch of 30XX, the level creator for that, made by the guy who made Mega Man Maker, is getting the full
Oh my
launch.
God.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. He's like, I'm so excited for this. I'm like, me too, man.
I was like, you're going to have to do some We Play Your 30XX levels.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm absolutely down for that. We'll play it on the PC and then I'll record it on my $7,000 Mac.
Yeah.
I had to sell my car, guys. Bob, what else did they have?
I'll miss your car, guys.
Sacrifier. This looked kind of cool. It looked like a classic PS1 Star Ocean game, and even has the Makoto Sakuraba soundtrack to go with it.
See, I read Bob's description. I did not watch the Guerrilla Collective. I read Bob's description and I was like, where's the insane crafting system in this trailer? Bob said it was like Star Ocean. Because that's the thing that I associate most strongly with Star Ocean.
Yeah.
Like it's got Matoy Sakuraba, and then it just is that battlefield.
Yeah, I think they're even saying catchphrases kind of like they would in battle in Star Ocean 2.
Yeah, but weirdly, all the characters look really plain. It's like dudes in knight armor. I'm like, you missed part of the point.
The animations, you could use a few more in between frames.
That too.
But yeah, it looks really nice. I'm super interested in seeing how that goes.
Yeah, it's another thing going kind of for that art style that
HD 2D.
Yeah, HD 2D.
Yeah.
Stuff.
A lot of games in these conferences.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's definitely catching on.
The age is rising.
Yes.
Dark Deity 2 looked pretty cool.
And this is real Rising, not like Dark Rising, which you'll learn about next month if you're a patron.
Dark Deity 2 is a Fire Emblem like.
Oh yeah.
With nice pixel art.
Yes.
It very directly is like it's like a GBA Fire Emblem. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, they nailed that.
Yeah.
I think they really fucking nailed that. That was cool.
Crypt Custodian has like you play as this cat man in a hyperlight drifter style coat, and it even has levels that kind of inspire that sort of thought of like it looks like it's more combat focused than like a regular Zelda like. They use a broom. Yeah, it looked kind of neat.
You have a broomerang that you can.
Oh
throw
yeah,
out. Yes.
Nice.
This was actually in the post show that was the same exact thing as Guerrilla Collective, but for some reason it's like this is our publisher show for Guerrilla Collective.
This is our publisher spotlight where we wholesale hand an entire segment to a publisher, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck. Then it was fine.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is neat, weird.
Akatori was there. That looked pretty cool. It looked kind of Mormodera-esque.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's a full Metroidvania and doesn't seem as Dark Souls-y as Momodora, but has that. Also has a 2D HD 2D look to it, but it's all side scroller like a Castlevania.
Yeah. So it also, if I'm remembering correctly, that was also the one that kind of had the vibes of Indivisible, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine something in between Indivisible and Mormodora, and you should be excited.
Yeah, it's hitting Kickstarter soon. They got one of those coming soon pages on Kickstarter. You can go be like, hey, tell me about it.
And that was the good thing from that conference that had a Kickstarter soon, unlike the one that was like Corgi anus power, and I'm like, please. Why is this 3 minutes of this?
Yeah, that was
unfortunate.
I didn't even write that down. I didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
The last thing I did write down was Ollie Frog Toad Skater, which is a Tony Hawk like where you play as a frog.
And it looked like it controlled well, which is so relevant to say about a skateboarding game announced anytime recently.
The demo is out. I haven't been able to play it.
Very excited. Also, that frog is adorable.
Yes, it's a great frog.
It hits the ground and goes like a squeaky toy.
That was yesterday. Today was Summer Game Fest. I'm going to bust through this one since Bob took us through that last segment. Who took the notes on this? Was this Chris? I assume this was Chris.
I did it.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, 2D combat-focused Metroidvania, January 18th. That looks sick.
It does.
It sure does look nice, but in my brain, I'm all like, okay, it has the exact same floaty jumps as every one of these. It sure lets you juggle enemies like every one of these. I can sure imagine dodging through an enemy with the dodge button like every one of these.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Mortal Kombat 1 segment with the story and gameplay and stuff, and that was really neat. But audience, I'm just going to need you to imagine a Mortal Kombat game and imagine a story that would take place with the material they've shown, and you literally understand exactly what they showed there.
I have become Bob Video Game.
Oh no!
Yes.
Sorry,
Tremble.
Bob. Now you're the ghost in the shell. But yeah, that game looked cool. Mortal Kombat 1, the gameplay looked cool. I love seeing the cameo characters being this weird called-in strike characters.
Yeah, that looked pretty fun, but weirdly, in that it feels like they've only they showed Sonya, Jax, and
Goro.
They did show Goro, but on the character select screen in Kano, it's cameo characters, but not as regular characters.
Yeah.
So now I'm worried. Like, wait a second.
Yeah, they're only, if you look at the character select, there are only 18 characters in the game. So
Yeah.
people are getting cut.
Yeah, that's gonna suck.
That's
It's
gonna
like
happen.
And also, they're all wearing their Mortal Kombat 1 outfits, which is really strong.
It's pretty great.
Except for Striker, who's wearing the Mortal Kombat 3 traditional Striker outfit.
They're wearing the first outfit they showed up in for each of them.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
Jack's also not until 2, but that's the exact Jack outfit from 2.
It's pretty good. Sonic Superstars, I thought looked really cool. It's 2D gameplay, but 3D graphics. Sonic up to 4 players. Naoto Oshima is designing a new character. What? I didn't.
Yep.
I missed
Which
that.
which makes fucking Yuji Naka doing the Stalin thing and blacking him out of the photograph even fucking funnier because he's back on Sonic and he's in fucking prison.
That's so good.
Oh shit!
My boy.
Also, they teased that they're going to show how Fang the Sniper, or Knack, looks in the new art style, and I need that in my blood as a Triple Trouble fan. I'm like, oh, and then they ended the trailer, and I'm like, it's almost time.
One of 10 people on Earth can get blue balls from not seeing that.
Yes, from not seeing, it's me, Cybershell, Chris, maybe.
God, yeah, I can't help but be worried about this because it feels like it's here instead of a new Mania.
Yeah.
I'm so worried that that team's just done.
I mean, yeah, we did have leaks where people thought they were making a new Mania, but it may have just been this instead of a new Mania.
Yeah, and then it's a 3D Sonic and 2D.
3D, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that go well. It looked good in this, but oh my god, I need to play it. It might.
Right. I need my hands on it.
That's it.
I need that.
You gotta
Also,
play it.
4 players at once. I played New Super Mario Bros. That's not ideal for any game.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be
Yeah, it's
so
gonna be
good.
great.
It better have online with rollback. It's gonna be
better.
so good. It's gotta be the best.
It seems like Sega wants to do a lot of Sonic projects now, so I could easily see there also being a Mania 2 just next year. Like it needs.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
time.
there's capacity. We've talked a lot about how there's the capacity in Sonic for a yearly installment. Just don't make the same shape and formula of game every fucking year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name looks sick as shit and comes out November 9th.
Kiryu has fucking web shooters.
Yeah, right.
That game looks sick as shit. I'm sold the moment I hear English words. Toxic Commando, a co-op zombie shooter made by John Carpenter. It's literally John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. We saw Toxic Crusader game yesterday,
Yeah,
so
right.
like
The
in
whole
my
time I was sitting
brain,
there like Toxic Commando.
yeah, it's just living in my brain. It looked fine. It had like a Days Gone scale of zombies.
Yeah, lots of zombies.
Oh, yeah.
And really big super zombies that didn't look like your completely typical zombie shooter. That's a boomer.
Yeah,
That's a screamer.
Yeah.
it was disappointing being like it's John Carpenter and then it's zombies
Right.
because it was like that
You're like,
opens up
that's
to anything,
That's the wrong John.
right?
You're supposed to get a different John for that. Spider-Man. Oh my god. Yeah, let's talk about the Spider-Man 2 segment.
Oh my god.
They showed everything they already wanted to show during the PlayStation thing. So they came out, showed concept art, and announced a date like that was a huge thing.
And they also showed us the box art. Oh my god!
Like when we think of detriments to shows and how we score them, this sparkles as a bright shit spot.
Like,
oh,
sparkly,
yeah,
this shit.
that's garbage. They had nothing except the release date and some art, maybe.
Wasting the time on stage talking about nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really
sure
dumb.
was a
Venom
waste.
might be in it. Here's the art of him in it.
Whoa.
Bye.
He's not what you think, though.
Whoa. Wait, what do I think?
Fight your enemies or your friends.
Are your friends? Yeah, there was really nothing to talk about with that. It was kind of one of the worst parts of the show. Fortnite Season 4-3 starts tomorrow, has Optimus Prime, has Temple stuff, and they showed off more of the Unreal Engine for Fortnite thing where you can make maps and custom things, and that's really neat. Now I want to see that, like, expanded.
Why am I Legion?
Huh? Don't worry.
Okay.
You're fine now.
I'm back.
Oh wow!
Welcome back, Bob.
I was
You-
scared
did
that I
you
was
guys
many
lose-
and one at the same time.
Did you guys lose weight? You've been working out?
Yeah.
Damn. Honkai Star Rail unfortunately comes out Q4 this year on PS5. God damn it.
Yeah, I was really hoping for Q3 at least. This
You
seems
motherfucker
crazy.
sent me a notification in April, right?
Yeah, that was some
Yeah, that's
bullshit.
At least by the time it's out, it'll have like a really good set of stuff.
That's true. That's true.
I'm not gonna
Liza
give it to
P.
you all at once.
Will they not?
Usually these gotcha things don't do that because they need you to have time to level your characters and progress. So it'll probably roll out pretty much, maybe slightly faster, but mostly the same rate.
Huh.
I know that they match events releasing on PC and console for Genshin, and that has similar
But
release.
those came
structure.
out at the same time, I think.
Did they?
I don't think they did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they fucking did. Let me look.
I don't know. Yeah, you look it up. I'll move on. Liza P. getting a demo today.
Sweet.
Launches in September 19th.
Looks great.
I'm glad there's a demo. I need to know.
Right. All these Souls likes, you got to play them.
Uh-huh.
There's always a chance of they didn't get it at all.
What was that one that looked really good and you played it and went, oh, was that?
It was the Lords
Mortal
of Shadow.
Shell?
Like, no,
It
isn't it
was-
the action game from last year where Bob's like, I put too much time into this and it never got any better? It was kind of the same thing the whole way through.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I can't believe you can't
Solstice
remember.
wasn't
I was gonna say, we're
anything
talking
like
about Solstice.
It might have been
Yeah, Solstice. Yeah.
Yeah, Solstice wasn't a Soul.
No.
No, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
Souls-like, but it is an
No,
action
it-
game.
yeah.
So I understand.
Genshin Impact came out on everything day and date.
Okay.
Oh wow, this
Yeah.
is gonna
Then
be
why
weird.
the fuck
then.
isn't this?
Yeah, right.
No one
Anyway,
knows.
Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 has co-op. You could be a kill team.
Kill team.
Dun dun. Chicka, chicka, kill team.
It's 3 players, I think, right?
That comes out this year.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
you kill
yeah.
a bunch of Tyranids. That looks cool as shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it looks fucking awesome. I'm so excited. Guys, January of next year, we will know. Is Pal World real or going to get sued on Impact?
I cannot process every time I see a trailer for that game. Like, oh, cute animals, Pokemon. They have a train gun. Well, there's a lot of what's happening? Help me!
Zangoose has had enough.
That Lapras has a grenade launcher on it.
They
What
didn't,
the
even,
fuck?
they didn't even show the sweatshops in this one. You
I
know,
know,
this is
right?
the experience.
The whole thing.
Like about getting sued, I'm like, you can't. I mean, yeah, there's room in the world for other capture creature games, but then you watch the trailers and see some of these designs.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that sure is a Latios.
I mean, they have a giant fucking, like, temple structure, like a statue made of sandstone maybe, of fucking Lucario. And I'm like, you didn't even have it doesn't have colors, so you can't turn them green and be like, it's original. That is just a statue of Lucario in this trailer. Fuck. So anyway, that's early access 2024. I thought it said January, but maybe not. Immortals of Avium was shown again. Chris was not happy.
No one was happy.
Yeah.
So say we all.
Guys, like, it's really obvious that EA spent way too much fucking money on this game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. They let us see the UI though.
They shouldn't
Yeah.
have.
They tell you whether, how much you're rising, how much you're ascending.
Yeah.
They need to tell you
I
how
really-
sigiled up you are.
Yes.
I really wish they hadn't shown me that enemies have health bars, because that just, for even further, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you're an idiot.
They're bullet sponges. What do you want?
Yeah.
Compared to the other one, which I keep forgetting what it is.
Which
What is
fire?
it?
Witchfire,
Oh.
which had enemies reacting viscerally to each shot. And is also about a magic man with a gun. Curious how far apart they were in the show.
Got to keep them separated. Exoprimal will be getting mech suits that are Street Fighter characters like Guile and Ryu.
That's so good.
That's insane.
It was fucking sick.
We thought it was DLC patch for Street Fighter 6, and then he fought a raptor. I can't.
Yeah, I think it might be both ways. I think the costume might show up in Street Fighter 6, and you get to play as the robot version in Exo Primal.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I really like Robot Luke.
It's me, Luke, from Robot Streets.
They did a robot jury in the last game. I wonder if that'll come back.
Witchfire enters early access September 20th. I hear people like Witchfire.
They do.
Throne and Liberty.
Oh yeah.
It was shown. Somebody other than me describe it.
It had a title card that looked terrible, but then the game looked kind of neat.
I think it described it as one of those super historical battle games, except somebody wanted it to be actually fun.
Yeah. That one. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that looked actually really neat. Looked like you'd fight a bunch of dudes.
Right.
Warhaven? I got nothing. Anyone?
I can't remember.
That was that like PvP 100 one versus like 100-man battleground thing where you can turn into stuff and have magic and shit. It sure did seem like a game. There was nothing that really jumped out at me about it.
Bob,
Yeah.
Party Animals is the Gang Beast knockoff, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eric.
Yeah.
Crash Team Rumble!
Oh God! Why? Why does it continue to happen?
I don't know. What are like? I'm really curious to see if this will just die on impact or not. Because I feel like at least a lot of Crash fans are like, "What are you doing? Why are you making this instead of Crash 5?" After you literally said in your financials, "We didn't lose as much money this quarter despite not releasing anything because Crash 4 sold so fucking well."
I don't know why Activision does these things. Probably to make themselves appealing to Comcast.
And then Comcast is going to buy them and be like, "Why do you have all these fucking IPs you're not leveraging?"
And then they're going to cut off the front wall of the building and have it fall on fucking Bobby Kotick. Baldur's Gate 3.
Sure.
Yeah?
With voice actor men.
Yeah, with Man.
Satan from Lords of Shadow.
with Lucius Malfoy.
Yeah.
Path to Exile.
Wait.
That's what's written.
Exile 2.
Path of
Okay,
Exile
there we
2
go.
show.
That is not what is written. I was like, I think this is Path of That fucking logo.
It's great.
Yeah.
That is unreal.
Didn't see the sphere grid though, so I can't quite tell if it's good or not.
Right. That's obviously the only thing that's actually important.
Does it have the mind prison?
I don't know.
We
Yeah,
just
it's-
don't know.
See, now it's a sphere,
Oh.
and there are grids on it.
Oh no! Now it's just Tetrasphere and Dan perks up.
Oh no! No, I was saved. I don't want to be
You
trapped
want a
in
plus
there.
2 to Dex? Better clear these lines.
Get to the core.
Remnant 2?
Yes,
That was you're killing extra dimensional guys. You look vaguely Bloodborne-ish. You have big guns.
Oh, that was a Hellgate game. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Hellgate London.
I will say it as many times as I want.
And as I said during
No
the
one can
stream,
stop me.
we've now spent more time referencing Hellgate London than anyone spent playing it. Sandland, the video game based on Akira Toriyama's manga, looked sick.
Yep.
But
It did.
I'm a rube. I grew up playing Dragon Quest, so I always loved that art style. I'm like,
Yeah.
it looks like his shit, but it's not Dragon Ball.
Like
He must be real.
Yeah.
Toriyama must be really fucking happy because he loves drawing cars and tanks. And if he said before, I love doing designs for video games because I only have to draw them like 3 times and then never again.
Right.
Treads are someone else's problem.
So I bet he was like, "Oh, you want me to draw all these vehicles and I only have to draw them like from the front and the back and then never again? Cool."
Let's see. We also had. Is this written right? Liz Fanga,
Yes.
the Time Shift Warrior. Bob, you want to describe it?
It was like a weird isometric view action game, kind of like a Diablo, but each time you died, you could roll back time and then play again as another version of yourself, and all of those versions would go at once for combat.
Yeah.
All I could think of was that VR game where it's that for solving puzzles, where you keep walking around the room and starting different elements of it. But that for action RPG, seemingly.
Right.
Alan Wake 2.
Looks dope.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Deerfest.
Hell yeah, Deerfest.
It's cool to see that's going to play like a third-person shooter, like kind of what you expect. Like I wasn't sure where they kept saying this is the first survival horror game. I thought it might change massively in how it plays.
Yeah, I don't know why they're saying that and what that means.
Yeah, it seems to be exactly the fucking same as Alan Wake 1. Like Alan Wake 1 was not some fucked up action game.
Right.
It was a lot like Resident Evil.
So it's really bizarre. I mean, technically, Alan Wake 1 was greenlit as a very different video game. So maybe in their mind, we're like, we set out to make it this way this time, so it's our first, baby.
Maybe. I feel like it's like more likely that this will be more like the original Alan Wake 1, because in the vision of Alan Wake 1 was it was open world and you would drive around and
Yes.
go to places, and they had to cut all that out, so it's just totally linear.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, so maybe we'll get some of that.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Alan Wake 2. I may pick that up at launch. Every time I see it, it looks even better. I'm just gonna read the note.
Okay.
Talk about Twisted Metal here. Do we have to?
No,
Yes.
because they didn't.
I didn't see anything.
I
Any
don't
metal
know,
was
see what-
twisted.
Don't see you mean. We got Twisted Metal back shots as Sweet Tooth slammed Anthony Mackie into that slot machine a couple times.
Really unconvincingly. That is honestly one of the worst parts. Is that it's just like I'm gonna slam your head into it. Just
It
softly.
honestly felt like a fucking like college humor sketch.
Mm-hmm.
That whole scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's playing music, and he's like, "This is my Sweet Tooth music. Oh, I like to dance and make jokes to it." I'm like,
I guess we know why Paul Rudd's Sweet Tooth.
you give someone the assignment, hey, we have 2 minutes to sell people on this Twisted Metal series, and the person who turned that clip in should be fired.
Yeah,
From a cannon.
there was no
into the sign.
not a single car. How?
I don't know. And they're like, when you drove up, you wrecked my shit. And now we're still talking because obviously this streaming show is just going to have you stuck here at the Sweet Tooth exhibit for like multiple
Oh God,
episodes.
I didn't even fucking think of it, but it's so gonna be that I'm so fucking sick of these streaming shows. They're like we're gonna do something that would be cool in a movie. Unfortunately, we cannot make something that's 8 hours long and has the same production values as a movie. So please enjoy The Room that 80% of the show will take place in.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be PG-13, like violence level. Like you saw what they did there. That didn't look like at
No,
all like
no.
what I expect from a Twisted Metal.
No, but I thought they announced it wasn't PG-13 at a different date. They didn't say during this. I don't know though.
And Sweet Tooth's fucking head isn't on fire. What the fuck's up with that?
That's expensive.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
Fucking
forget
Virtual
that-
Vendetta had his head on fire.
I know, right? I was about to say that too.
Look, if you want that, you have to deal with Dancing Cortana. Do you want to deal with Dancing Cortana? Bob, I'm not hearing you. Do you want to deal with
No, no,
Okay,
I don't like the head on fire.
All right then. That's what I thought.
God.
Doesn't Head on Fire happen like in other games? And the first one is just this logo was a clown head on fire.
Hey Bob.
I don't remember.
Hey Bob.
What's up?
Too bad.
No, don't do it. Why is she here? Why do you have that sitting around?
Yeah, that's a good fucking question.
Yeah, like this one's on you, man. What?
This is in my gift folder. Where else?
This shows poorly.
We needed this for
on
our
your
fucking
character.
Malo streams. Anyways, hey guys. They had a really good trailer for Final Fantasy VII Reunion. Well, I thought it was Rebirth. Is it Reunion?
Is Rebirth the last one? Or
Yeah, is Rebirth the last one? They announced all three names at once, and my brain went,
Yeah,
the last two
I
names
thought
at
this
once.
one was
Yeah.
Rebirth.
Recoded.
Yeah, okay, it's Rebirth. Okay.
I think the last one was the last one Rebirth? I thought it was just remake.
I think
no, we're talking about
we're talking about the
last
second-
season, the next
yeah,
Oh,
one.
the
the
one they
third
showed
one.
here was Rebirth, not Reunion.
Okay, because I think some guy said reunion in the
Oh,
trailer.
okay.
Yes.
He did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they
Okay,
love,
this one's
they're all
Rebirth
about
and then
that,
that
shit.
one's Reunion.
All these fucking Sephiroth fanboys.
We get it. Your high school reunion is the only bright spot of your 10 years. Get a life.
It is coming out on 2 discs, which means it's over 100 gigs, which kind of makes sense.
It was a little
That's
weird
how
to
big games are now.
like announce that. I don't know.
It's
Hey, I think to them, they're like, hey, not only does this show we're still ambitious, this shows that it's like the good old days. It's
Right.
like the good old days.
They wanted
and-
you
and-
to know that they fit an entire texture for that door.
That's
It's gonna
great.
be there.
That's
And they
great.
cl-
I-
and they
I mean, that door's
clearly-
gone now, but that's great.
you don't know that.
and they clearly, like, I'm sure that marketers everywhere are seeing the fucking stupid, by the way, posts on social media just soy pointing at every install size now. Like, a game bigger than 50 gigabytes? I don't understand how graphics work. That's so fucking big. So I imagine it's like, okay, we can. This is clever marketing to downplay people doing that.
Mm-hmm. I actually, at a random point in time, did a bunch of numbers crunching out. If the PS1 had CDs that were 700 megs, and the PS2 had this capacity, and PS3 had that capacity, and we kept going on the actual arc of how large the storage medium is versus how much RAM these consoles have. I think it was like the PS5 should come on 440 gigabyte discs. It's like what that arc looks like. And so I'm like, you know what, Greg, congrats. You fit it in 110 gigs. Good job. Good job. That
It is 4 feet wide, and the games come on Laserdisc-sized media.
It's like those giant videotapes you see like professional productions use back in Gashunk. But yeah. Anyway, that was it for Summer Game Pass.
There was one more trailer.
Yeah.
Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. We finally got to see some more of that. The one where the guy and his ghost wife fight ghosts.
Oh yeah.
And you can choose to spare or let them continue wreaking havoc in the wild. I guess.
And like at one point, it seemed like you were comboing between the real world and the spirit world.
Yes. It did look cool. Devolver Digital happened. Shadows of the Dam remaster's coming. Grasshopper is doing it direct. Is that really Wednesday?
Yeah, it was next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Oh yeah, it's the day after all these finally
It beat
stop.
out of a corpse's eyes.
Why are they doing that?
Because they're crazy.
There's a demo out now for Wizard with a Gun. They did not announce a Volvy game. I'm mad.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like a king fumble. They could have just made it some dumb little thing that was nothing and cost like 99 cents.
Right.
They did that with that Devolver Digital show. You could like explore.
Yeah.
that was crazy.
So it's so weird not to do it for this.
Yeah. It just seems really, really bizarre they didn't do that. Anyways, that was it for the conferences so far. Just going to look at the schedule here real quick and see what all we have coming up, because, oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's a lot.
Okay, so June 10th, we have the Wholesome Direct, Future Games Showcase, and OTK Games Expo, but that one's written in our schedule as being 3 hours long, and good... What the...
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
we don't
hopefully
know.
That's just the wrong time got entered or something.
We will find out by then or during then.
Or like an hour into that conference when we quit.
Yep. June 11th is the Xbox Games Showcase, the Starfield Direct, the PC Gaming Show, and Final Fantasy 16. June 12th is Ubisoft Forward and the Capcom Show. And the 13th is the Xbox Games Showcase Extended. So technically, wouldn't that be the same day as the Grasshopper thing?
Oh, I guess
No,
so.
that's the 14th, I think.
No.
It's still... Jesus Christ. So anyway, we have a lot of streams. Keep an eye out. Twitch.tv/GigaBoots. We're going to be going live a lot. That's all I wanted to talk about from these conferences. Did anyone else want to talk about it?
First conference year without E3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice and condensed so far.
Yeah. Everyone just keeps announcing these ones that come way later, and we're like, what if you didn't?
Right. Yeah, we're running out of places for cool news things to be announced, because I feel like the only thing that's really left for that is Xbox. So I'm a little sad that it doesn't feel like we're getting good big announcements.
I mean, or when Sony completes its giant dick move and like suddenly drops a second conference, the real conference, to close out the summer of gaming.
Okay, so that first time you were just disrespecting me.
Yeah,
cool.
I assume there will be actual cool announcements around the Ohio Gamescom. Like, that's what I'm actually thinking now.
Same.
But I mean, one thing that we didn't talk about much is those Persona things leaked from the Xbox show. If they got those, I feel a little bit more confident the Xbox show will have something.
Have stuff. Yeah,
Maybe
I agree.
it's back. Maybe it's back to like the 2018
right?
Xbox
show.
yeah.
Where,
Even
like,
if
they
there's
dropped
no
Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, like even if they're not making stuff, the Xbox show usually has some good third-party stuff.
Yeah, they used to. It feels like the last 2 years they've been like, screw with that third party.
They're like, we don't need to.
We bought
Bethesda. It's been dead since 2020. Like 2019 was the last time it felt like they really dropped that kind of thing.
Yeah,
By the way,
absolutely.
there is one new thing that could show up there.
Yeah.
Since this happened while we were live, a fucking Steam page for Dragon's Dogma 2 went up, meaning that game could come out within the next year.
Yeah, I mean, we have the Capcom showcase and we also have the Xbox. It could show up.
Yeah, they
both
said that
or
Dragon's
either.
Dogma was definitely at the Capcom showcase. That
So
hopefully will be our first time seeing like
Something.
something I want to see from that.
Right. So
Like,
there's still some
presumably-
excitement.
Presumably, Itsuno's been working on this since, after they finished
Mhm.
with the MC5. So this game could be going on 4 years of development.
Right.
It
I don't think
it could be
Itsuno.
really fucking soon.
Yeah, Itsuno might not even be that involved with the Virgil DLC, so that would give him even more time on it.
Yeah, that's not exactly something he needs to overlook super closely.
Right.
We just told you everything we're doing in the next week, but Chris, do you have the ambition to also stream on your own in addition to all these Nightmare conferences? Because we want to give you the space to promote that if that is the case.
No, probably not. It's probably on break until the summer of gaming's over.
Yeah, I don't want to do shit other than these conferences, frankly.
Yeah, but we are coming back tomorrow for Street Fighter.
Yes, because there are no conferences on Friday. We are free to just play Street Fighters with the viewers and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to do that. We get to do a bunch of conferences. And that's it for this episode of Big Thing to Mention. Wow. Goodbye.
Bye, I'll never return.
Be gone.
Eric betrayed and left in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Hey, Eric, since you're never coming back, you have to plug our Patreon starting in 3,
Oh, no.
2, 1.
If you like Big Thing Dimension, you should go check out Patreon. Patreon.com/GigaBoots.
What do we have there?
What do you have? My brain is seizing up. It's actually gone. I'm actually panicking.
This is cruel.
Patreon.com/GGB podcast.
That one.